Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, no matter where you are in the world, everyone. I hope everybody had an amazing day yesterday. So, there were quite a few shenanigans that happened yesterday, and I got caught up helping someone, and I didn't get home till late. So, I had to sort of recap on some stuff, and boy, oh boy, did I see some tea. There was some tea. Also, for those of you, actually, let me wait a minute for everybody to sort of roll in and get their notifications as they're doing now. Um, I reached out to the customer service for YouTube yesterday. So those of you who had pending charges for trying to do a super chat or super sticker or membership, it should have dropped off. Should be no longer pending and gone because they don't know if it was some sort of glitch or whatnot. I did check with one person this morning who said it came off. It's no longer pending. It went back to their account. So they don't know what the issue was yesterday. They can't figure it out. It worked for one person in the UK here and no one else in the US, which was weird. But nonetheless, it should be fixed. It should work. They say today. And those of you that tried yesterday, I apologize. I don't know what happened over there. No idea. But nonetheless, it should work today, and anything that was a pending and wasn't going through should have went back to your bank. If it didn't, they gave me a link for you to reach out to them, and I can give that to you guys if you guys have any issues. But you shouldn't. It should just drop off and go back to your account. Hello. I know it is wild. It's actually freaking wild. So the first thing I saw this morning, which made me chuckle a bunch. Hey girl, hey. Was you guys are gonna love this. Ready? Valerie, the pick me and her buddies, they got really upset that I wore blue eyeshadow yesterday. They got really triggered by my blue eyeshadow. They were very, very triggered. Poor pick me girls. That was the intent. That's why I wore blue. So I guess it worked to trigger you with blue eyeshadow, because if that's what it takes to trigger you, wow, do you have thin skin. And I love that they called it Wet and Wild. Oh, your Wet and Wild blue eyeshadow. If you can't even tell the difference between a $75 high-end beauty palette and Wet and Wild because of the color, then you should probably take several seats, because I don't own Wet and Wild or drugstore makeup. All of my palettes are high-end beauty palettes. So you can thank Violet, Voss, and Tarte for the beautiful colors that I had yesterday, and a tiny bit of Natasha Denona. So, yeah, I mean, I found it quite funny. Found it quite funny that triggered them so hard. If blue eyeshadow triggers you, I really don't know what to tell you. Like, I mean, if that's what triggers you is blue eyeshadow, well, I feel sorry for you. Like, that's all you got? Do you want to talk about my blue eyeshadow and call it Wet and Wild? You can confirm, because you know that I have, like, I don't know, a billion palettes. And I share. If I get a double or a triple of something, I share. I give it away to someone who can use it. I am very picky when it comes to my, like, makeup. Like, the certain things that I will use, especially my skin, because my skin is so bad. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry, guys, that was an important phone call. I was not expecting to come in, and I had to take it. So number one, right? Number one, here's my friend. So number one, apparently last night, Aiden decided to get on his live stream and say that MLF Pink Lady, he was talking about when he told that poor person to off themselves. Okay. Which I've played that clip numerous times. It's very triggering. I don't think anybody should have to watch that damn clip. But he's played, told a person to actually off themselves on air because that's how much of a deranged individual he is. Nonetheless, he tried to assert that back then MLF Pink Lady had called into his show and played some clip. The problem with that is I've talked to MLF Pink Lady on the phone about 1 billion times, and she never called into Aiden's show in 2019. So I don't know. Once again, him asserting something that just simply is not true and has no basis in freaking reality. No. Like, just no. Like, who does that? Who actually effing does that, though, in real life? Like, who does that? Like, who does that? She most certainly did not call into a show in 2019. So it's like, wait. This is the shit. Yeah, they're going to hate. They hate hard. Listen, Parson. All right? I see you. Patriots, bitches. All right? To be fair, I like the Seahawks, but just not as much as I like my Patriots. Okay? Okay? Sorry. I had to take that call. Right next it'll be like deodorant, and then that'll be like, you buy Secret? That's too cheap. Right, then you'll be able to suddenly smell my Flower Bomb perfume through or my Burberry Brit through the computer, and they'll try to say that it is Walmart brand, or my Sol de Janeiro, which is one of my favorite sprays. Absolutely love my Sol de Janeiro. I don't know, somebody bought it for me for Christmas. I don't know who that someone could have possibly been, but someone bought me the Jet Set pack for Christmas, and I don't get Christmas gift, so it was a really nice gift, and I love it. I love it. But I mean, this is what I mean. Like, this is what he does. Like, MLF Pink Lady most certainly did not call into a show in 2019. That did not happen. So the fact that he just like randomly says it and just creates this lie is fucking bonkers. I've talked to her on the phone 1 million times, and not her voice. Like, not her voice. Not even a little bit. He also said the guy said, just kidding. Oh, for the love of God. The guy did not say, just kidding. I've played that clip about 1 billion times. Oh, yeah, it's a crime. But this was, I think it was before the, like, Michelle Carter thing. But why, like, he should have been in jail a long time ago. And this is the kind of shit why. Rando's right. Creates his own narrative, and then they just eat it up. They just eat it up. Just eat it up. Just simply just eat it up. It's absolutely bonkers. Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's not in the clip. He doesn't ever say, I'm kidding. He literally says, I'm going to myself, and you're making me do it. And Aiden's like, good, do it. Do it then. Why don't you stream it? Do it. Why don't you stream it? The guy never says, just kidding. And you can tell, like, by the guy's voice, like, he's distraught. He's like, my girlfriend's family knows. I know you did. That's why I put your your comment up and said, I wonder who that was. Hey, girl, hey. Oh, thank you. Well, see, that's the thing. When they say dumbass shit like, you're ugly, or you're fat, or you're stupid, I just laugh. I just fucking laugh. That's what I do. I just laugh. I forget, it was in a group chat, and I was talking to the girls yesterday, and I said, nothing's wrong with Walmart. I freaking shop at Walmart all the time, man. All the time. I love me some good Walmart stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was a great gift. It was an amazing gift. I know, I love you. So I was in a group chat yesterday, right? Right, that's the other thing. You offer them proof and they refuse to, like, read it or look at it. It's fucking wild. It's absolutely bonkers. I love me some Walmart. Check my text. I will do that. But nonetheless, I was in this group chat and I'm talking to the girls and I'm like, the level of delusion. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. The level of delusion, this little angry fucking elf, all right? This angry little goddamn elf and the level of delusion that he holds. I was telling people that how these people can't see what's sitting right in front of them is fucking amazing to me. And that my very blind daughter can see what they can't see, and she's legally blind. So explain to me exactly how many brain cells these people have left at this point, because if my very blind daughter can see through the bullshit without seeing, that tells you everything you need to fucking know about these people. It's really, really sad. And yes, he's very angry. So I'm going to tell you this much. He most certainly is not going to keep coming for my friend Leah. I'm just going to go harder for him. Like, that's just the bottom line. And here's the difference is he can lie about Leah all he wants, but the truth is what matters. Why doesn't he tell his audience about the love letter and packed bag that he brought over to her house to move in and she told him no? Why doesn't he tell his audience that's the reason why he decided he was going to go and try to, destroy everything that is good for her in life because she said no? God forbid anyone say no, right? God forbid any woman try to get away from him. God forbid. God for fucking bid. I will tell you this much. Leah has more heart in her pinky finger than 99.9% of the sewer turtle and his crew and what they could ever imagine. They can only pray to be a good person, as good of a person as she is. They can only pray, literally pray. Okay? That speaks for itself. She speaks for herself. Who she is, how she behaves, speaks for itself. She's smart, capable, successful, funny, all the things that he is not. I imagine that hurts his little tiny turtle ego a little, little tiny turtle ego. I suggest that he is going after everything that he wants to rehash about every person from his life before this. He has actually run out of content. He actually has nothing at this point to talk about. He doesn't know what to do with himself. So at this point, he's like, let me rehash every relationship I've ever had. Let me rehash any content creator that said a word about me. Let me get all my minions to say a bunch of lies and repeat them. So my idiot minions and channels, well, they'll just send me money and they'll listen. And they'll listen. And the sad part about that is a lot of them do. But I'll tell you this. I think in the last 3 months, I've had more people come to me and have conversations with me, apologize, have really nice civil conversations about what they didn't see before and what they do see now and how they can never unsee it ever again. Meredith, Lindsay, Leah, his ex-wife, Kara, the list goes fucking on and on. On and on and on and on and on and on. Not a single woman can leave his life without him trying to destroy them as if they did something wrong. The problem is he's the narcissist. He's the one using coercive control to control people and then to harm them later on. And I wholeheartedly agree with you here, Chastity, that he's angry because the truth's getting out and it's effective right now. People are listening, so it's effective, and it's not new. I have been saying it for a long time. You're 100% right. But I do think that he realizes now that it's been more effective. People are doing spaces who were, following him when the Karen Reed trial was happening and now clearly see right through his bullshit and are like, no, he's a bad person. He's just a bad fucking human being. Just a bad person. Just a bad person. The Glier's always been a drama channel. And the gaslighting is insane level at this point. And I agree with you. Should have been jailed a long time ago before it's more harassment, more hurt people, Somebody called you obese. I can't. Somebody didn't actually go, you're not even 100 pounds. This is what I mean. Like, the shit people say is so bonkers. And people just believe. And that's the part that gets me the most, I feel like. It's like people just believe what they say. And it's like, it's brainwash. It's actual brainwashing is what it is, you know? Like, why does he, like, I mean, how cute. The fact that he is still obsessed with you after 7 years says more about him than it does about you. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. I mean, dude, she moved out of state to literally get away from this little troll. Okay, 7 years. 7 years, and he hasn't stopped saying Leah's name. If that doesn't tell you how fucking obsessive he is. Oh, he said if you never get off the internet, it'll never stop. Cool. Well, I'm not going anywhere. Cool. I'm not going anywhere. How about you get off the internet, sir? You know? Yes, the same. Yes. She's right here. She's in the chat, you bozo. She's right here. She's got a wrench. She's got a wrench. She's my mod. Got a wrench. That way she can boot people who talk shit about her. I can't believe he actually said that with a straight face. Like, I mean, does he not know you by now? Like you would just give up and be like, sure, sewer turtle, I'll get off the internet so you'll stop talking about me after 7 years. Like, it doesn't make you look like an obsessed fucking weirdo to keep talking about me after 7 years. Sure, I'll just hop right off the internet just for you. Right? It's worse than a politician. Leah's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. Literally. You know? I know. We got to figure that out for you, girl. We do. We got to figure out how that keeps happening to you. You might be confusing multiple LGs. Like, multiple people have those initials. She's not Lindsay. That's Leah. And that's half the problem, right? Is they just blindly try to absolve him of all of these things that he does. You know, like all of these things that he does. It's fucking absolutely insane. It's insane. It's insane. He's very sick. Very, very sick. The fact that you get enjoyment out of trying to hurt people speaks volumes about the person that you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's his way of bragging. Like, that. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, the shit that he's magically do, like, you can bet that if he's breathing, he's lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can bet. You can bet. He's just a disgusting human being. I refuse to give him the view too, you know that, but most people give me, like, you know, the clips or like parts that, like, you know, parts that do stuff. Parts that, like, show me what he's doing, you know? Cease and desist aren't really worth the paper they're written on. Most people throw them in the trash and laugh at them because most people aren't actually going to file after that. You know what I mean? If you're going to send a cease and desist these days, you should absolutely send it if you're going to actually follow through with, like, doing something afterwards. Otherwise, it's kind of just like a joke. It's a running joke at this point. But he is a control freak, Brando. He has to be in control. Has to. He absolutely has to. The cease and desist, oh yeah, they don't do anything, you know? There's a lot of missing information, but again, I don't think they would have to do multiple parts, I feel like. If they did, like, if they wanted, like, all of the information, I feel like they would have to do multiple parts, and it would have to be, like, a whole series instead of just, like, one show or two show or 3 shows or 4 shows. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that he called you obese is insane to me. You don't even weigh 100 pounds. Well, I think that's the other thing, Peggy, is he's going to jail, right? Like, right? The common sense would say probably not. Right? But he knows he's going to jail. He knows he is. He totally knows he is, and that's half his spin out right now, is that he knows he's going to go to jail. He's you know? I mean, he writes an article about everybody and then points to that as some sort of proof that it's true. Like, bro, all you do is write words. That's it. I believe that's why he's losing his shit. Oh yeah, that's right. We're in 2026. So yeah, 8 years. We're now we're in year 8, you know?
No, he didn't. Name one. Like you just said, name fucking one that he's had a girlfriend that things have ended fine and he hasn't tried to trash them. Please, for the love of God, name one. There hasn't been a single one. Not a single one. Not a single one. We're not talking about one night stands, Aiden, and I'm sure you haven't had quite a few of those. I'm sure you probably only have had 2 or 3 in your lifetime. You know? Like, come on. Yes, they keep trying to hack her ex and she keeps getting locked out. It's like a whole, I don't even know why. Like, there's nothing in there to hack, which is weird. You know what I mean? He's growing man boobs. We'll send him a bra, you know? He only went away, something like, he's fucking nuts, dude. Nobody knows, like, how depraved he really is, you know? How depraved. It is chef's kiss because she works 7 days a week and she has the heart of gold. And it's like, how dare you speak of my friend in a way that has anything bad to say? Because she's the best version of a human I can find, right? Like, you're not going to find a more hardworking, funny, lovable, kind person than Leah. And she works for what she wants. You know what I mean? Like, she don't give up. She doesn't give up easy. She's also not going to sit back and let somebody trash her easily. She means like you working. Like your work with the dogs is chef's kiss. It's just insane to me. I'm going to go over that too, Pepper. Don't worry. But to me, it's like, there's not enough people. Oh my God, he is like your dad. I don't think about that. Yeah, you know, the new creators, especially an attorney, stand up for him. Well, you want to know why? They're not going to investigate. They're not going to. And they know, they're fully aware at this point. At this point, they're fully aware of who he is. They're not going to. They'll lose subscribers and they'll lose money. And that's all they care about. That's it. They rely on his viewers to be their viewers. That's the problem. It's not like me where I don't need to rely on turtle writers to be my viewers, right? As you can see, I do not get constant super chats or constant super stickers or constant donations. They do because they rely on the sewer turtle. They rely on his viewers to gain subscribers. I built my shit one person at a time on my fucking own. I don't need him or anyone else telling me what I can and can't say. And if you ever asked anyone in my family how it would be like to try to control me, they would laugh in your face. No one tells me what I can and can't do, not even my husband. So I don't think that would go over well if somebody attempted that with me. Well, that's exactly why, Claude. You have to remember, if he says jump, Lauren Murray says how high. Now, let's go back to the time where Lauren Murray, good morning, Amy. Lauren Murray and Deanna framed me for a picture that Deanna took of Lindsay at the Halloween party because they were both too afraid of what he would do to them. So instead, they blamed me for a picture I had no idea existed and that I didn't take. So the only reason he hasn't gone after Lauren yet is because she still jumps when he says to do it. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. It's the only reason. Is because she still does whatever he wants whenever he wants. If that requires lying about someone or filing a false affidavit or telling the cops something that didn't happen, well, so be it then. So fucking be it. He says jump, she says how high. It's the only reason he hasn't gone after her yet. The only one. And that's the other thing. Well, he doesn't spend all day, every day posting about him. She might comment on something here or there or like pop into his faces and give her opinion. But since when is she not allowed her First Amendment rights? I thought he's all about First Amendment, right? Except when it's someone else's First Amendment. Except when it shows his true colors. Then he hates the First Amendment and he wants to shut you up. Quickly. She doesn't post about him. She doesn't do a show about him. So I find it fucking hysterical at this point that he is that desperate for content that he needs to continue to lie for 8 years. For 8 years. She is, and she's even more amazing as a human. You know, if once you know her as a person, you're like, and again, I feel like a lot of these people were the same people who he told I was a monster and they came to check themselves and they were like, Where's this monster that he speaks of? Where's the monster under the bed? Where's the boogeyman that Aiden said Twisted was? Where is it? It doesn't exist. It's not there. Like, anybody who knows me in real life knows I would help anyone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I am not someone who hurts people. If you come for my family, then we have a different story. If you come for the people I love, including my friends or family, like, you're going to see a different fucking side of me. But I'm sure that that happens for everyone, especially my children. I will break down doors. I don't care. Like, that's my mama bear, right? Other than that, though, no monster here, dude. No monster here. His articles are pure gossip blogs. You know what I'm saying? They're pure gossip blogs. He gets very surprised, apparently, when people fight back. Thank you, Amy. These are my favorite eyelashes, actually. They're Glamnetic. I refuse to use regular glue because, well, I hate regular glue. So they're magnetic lashes, and so it's a magnetic black eyeliner. And you just put it on the top, and then they magnet to them, so I absolutely love Glamnetic. I do need to get new ones, though, because mine are all getting, like, worn out from just having them for a while. But if you are one of those people who wants to wear eyelashes, but you're like, I don't want to mess with glue, but you can put on a top eyeliner, this would be your jam, because I've went to sleep and woken up and they're still on. So as long as you put like 2 coats on and then you like fan it a little and you wait like 10 seconds, and you put them on, like, magnet right to it. You don't have to like mess around with it or anything. So he's not a journalist. He is a bully. He's a bully and an alleged thief at this point, and a witness intimidator and a harasser, you know? Well, the accolades Leah got alone when she was a trooper, and the work that she did with the dogs when she was a trooper alone should speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Natalie. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It's like, at what point do you give up, Aiden? No one else is going away. No one's going away. We are going to go over some of the James Jackson stuff that he did about it. I don't blame anyone for anything. I will own anything that I did, but I'm not going to own things that are lies. I'm not going to own things that he spun. I'm not going to own bullshit narratives and all this crap that he spun about me and everyone else. Like, I'm not going to own shit I didn't fucking do. You know what I mean? And that's mostly what he does, is just sit there and lie about people and then spin a narrative that is not even close to the truth. Not even close. Not even close. You know? And for the people that have said shit like that about me, a lot of those people have then come to me later on and been like, I apologize. I apologize. Like, I don't know why I just blindly believed him. I shouldn't have. And it's like, but you should look at that and think about all of the other people that you blindly believed him about and go back to each one, not just me. And there are plenty of people who will never get an apology from. They will never admit they were wrong. They will never admit they were misled. They will never admit they were duped, because that's too hard to come to the realization that they allowed someone else to mislead them for that long. You know? I will defend myself if I have to, and the people that I care about. But I'm not going to go out of my way to hurt people, because that just doesn't make sense, and it's not who I am. Just isn't, you know? I think it was, you'd probably have to ask Kate, but I believe it was like 2 years. I don't know. Maybe Leah knows. Was it a year, 2 years? I know it wasn't like super duper long, but it wasn't super duper short. I'm untwisted now. I know. That's true. I am untwisted now. We have changed the rebrand here. Good afternoon, darling. Yeah, investigative journals. He doesn't investigate a single thing. That's the difference, you know? You can get them put on at the salon. I've never done that, but you definitely can, but they can be quite pricey. Yeah, well, the dogs would probably try to eat them. They'd probably eat them, you know? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't. Maybe Leah knows. I don't know. I think maybe it was a year, 2 years. I know it wasn't like super duper long, and I know it wasn't super short either. Somebody else would have to ask Kate, though. I never talked to Kate, and I have no idea the answer to that. But I know that it was a while before she left. But I don't know exactly how long it was that she worked for him. Yeah, no, I get it. If people aren't going to reach out to somebody they don't know, you know? It's weird. It's weird, so I get it, believe me. Yeah, I heard. Which is like, if that's who you have to have on for content, amazing. Amazing. I do have 2 songs today for you guys. I have a pretty good one called Digital Messiah that I think you'll like. And then there's another one that I made just for Jimmy. Just for Jimmy. So I'm going to play Digital Messiah first because I need to grab something in the other room, and it'll give me a chance to just give you guys the song first here.
Whispers in the dark web, screams light up the night. They pull you in with promises, sweet lies and the feet. Click by click, your hooked serve in the dark beat. Online army rises, keyboards turn to night. Tyrants into muddy, ruining innocent lives. No escape from the swarm, they hunt you down. Speak the truth, they'll burn your world to the ground. Cult of control, greed knows no end. Leaders' delusion needs Jesus sent. Silencing voices, crimes in the shade. Fear keeps them loyal in his masquerade. Greed devours the soul, powers their drug. Control every thought, pull every string, go to any length, break every rule. Destroy the rebels, keep the faithful fools. Afraid to question, lines drawn in fear. He's the savior, wipe away the tear. Cult of control, greed knows no end. Leaders' delusion, he's Jesus sent. Silencing voices, crimes in the shade. Fear keeps them loyal in his masquerade. He preaches from his throne of lies, compares his wrath to holy skies, but underneath the halo glow, a monster pulling strings below. Cult of control, greed knows no end. Leader delusion, he's Jesus
Well, we have multiple songs. That's just the one from last night. But yeah, I don't think they get along. But that's totally okay. I mean, people watch all sorts of people that don't, get along. Aiden is his own worst enemy. And they've been self-destructing for some time. They're just bringing the sewer crew, all the content creators that are with them, along with for the ride. And so it's like, what did he offer you, Jim? Jim Crow Gillis, what did Aiden offer you? Did he offer you, to send you more subscribers to talk about you more? Is that what he offered? So that you would just go harder for him? It doesn't change the truth. It does not. Yeah, Babs was on JFK last night, and she's trying to sort of let people know, like, you can be civil with people and not tear people down and still not agree with them on certain things. That's real life. You can do that. Aiden doesn't know how. If you do not follow his every whim and support him fully and praise him, he tells you to die in a hole. It's that simple. It's that simple, right? If Aiden makes money, they think they are going to make money. And realistically, if they just don't stream at the same time as him, people are going to be looking to fill their time. And where do they fill it? They fill it with these idiots, with the sewer crew. The dogs were howling. They liked my song? Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, doggies. But that's the thing. People apparently like to be lied to. Is there justice? As far as what I've been seeing, a lot of people apparently just like to be lied to. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know. They want that drama that doesn't exist. They want someone to create it for them. And if you watch someone like Jim Gillett, Auntie Deb, Jess Machado, the Glarer, or Brokeback Baker at this point, they're just spewing nonsense. So apparently the baker this morning was trying to tell people that Ray from Dallas's cousin is a liar, and he spun his narrative. So I'm going to play a little bit for you guys of what Ray from Dallas's cousin said. But before I do that, I had some notes here. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Go Patriots! Super Bowl bitches. But I did want to point out these very few things. Number one, if I spent the time, and this is why I refuse to watch Aiden shit, is because, like, all it is constant lies and spin. Constant. If I spent the time doing that, I'd never have fucking time doing, it was family, doing something else. Okay? So let me just throw this out there. MLF Pink Lady did not call his show in 2019. He's a fucking liar. Those voices are not even close to the same, number one. Number two, he's now trying to push this new narrative, right? That if you say that Aiden has made victims, that you are now for the quote McAlberts, if you are on the Free Karen Reed side. Most of you know I'm not on the Free Karen Reed side, but that's not the point. The point is his shit is now to proclaim that he knows Karen Reed, no one else does. Karen Reed hates you, buddy. Let me repeat. Karen Reed hates you. Hates you. Want nothing to do with you. I don't know why you keep invoking her name. I'm guessing for donations. I'm guessing. So you can pretend like you still actually give a fuck so people will give you money. That's what I'm assuming. But let me make myself clear here. As far as I understand from other people, she cannot stand you. She hates you, wants nothing to do with you, and eventually is going to speak out and tell the world exactly who you are from what she dealt with, which is funny because we've been telling people for 2 years and they haven't listened. So, gee, what will you do when someone else tells you? I don't know. He is seeing an uptick of people actually listening and seeing who he is. He's seeing a giant uptick of people who are believing that he is who he shows himself to be now. And that's a problem for him. So how does he deal with that problem? By just smearing the people who are giving the good information. What the fuck? I don't know. What do you mean? Alex made the comment 2 years ago. Yeah, it was found. You talking about the comment on Facebook? Yeah, it was found recently. The comment was found recently because nobody knew right from Dallas's real name. And so when they got the real name, they were able to do searches. And when they were able to do searches, they were able to see a family member who wrote that comment. And I'm assuming someone obviously must have reached out to that person. But, oh, so he's an in-law. Okay, never mind. In-law. Oh, I'm a crusty, which is so funny because it's like everyone works for Kate or is a Kate. Let me make myself clear here. I don't work for Kate. I'm not part of Kate's group of people. I'm a part of my own. I go to the beat of my own drum. I'm not a part of anyone but myself. It's that simple. But he has to lump everyone in together, because if he doesn't lump everyone in together, then his little stupid narrative of, you're on that side or this side, it's either us or them, and that's what he wants to create, that division before where people were, fighting on his behalf against other people, calling them names simply because he said so. That's what he wants, because it creates drama and that creates money for him. So that's what he wants. So his new narrative now is that if you say that he has victims, then that automatically means that you mean the Alberts and McCabe's, even if you do include them as being victims, which they are, of witness intimidation, right? Bottom line is he's doing that same type of witness intimidation to Meredith. He's done that same type of witness intimidation to Leah. He tried it even on Lindsay, even though she's sort of talking to him or whatever, like that still happened, right? And so he's done it to Kara. You heard the voice thing of her asking to be left alone after years. And we're talking a couple years now. For Leah, it's been 8. Like, at what point do you stop talking about your exes, my dude? Like, that's pretty pathetic. It's pretty pathetic. Pretty fucking pathetic. It's pretty shameless to keep invoking Karen Reed's name and saying, you're against Karen Reed if you say that I have victims. Or you're for the McAlberts if you say that I have victims. No matter what side of the Karen Reed case you fall on, and you guys are very well aware of which side I fall on, but no matter what side you fall on, Aiden has victims, period. And a lot of them. This call people's jobs and do all this shit to get people fired simply because they don't agree with him, or simply because they might know something that could put him in jail. Don't commit crimes and that wouldn't happen, buddy. Don't do dumb shit and that wouldn't happen. I mean, she probably will at some point. I just don't think it's going to be now, because she's got that civil case. So you might not hear it for quite some time. Maybe after his cases are over, which could be sooner than her civil cases. Maybe she'll do it after his stuff, But nonetheless, that's the narrative is, if you say that he has victims, you are now for anyone who's an anti. That's his new thing. If you come here and watch my show, then you are not for Karen Reed. That's just simply not true. Obviously, two things can be true at the same time. You can know that Aiden's a piece of shit and that he made victims, and you can also believe that Karen Reed is innocent. Or, in my opinion, you can think she's guilty and also think he's a piece of shit. Two things can exist at once, folks. Two things can't exist at once. You can be here and watch my show and think I'm a good person and still not agree with me on the Karen Reed case. See how that works? It's called civility and being human. He wouldn't know anything about that, though. He wouldn't know anything about that. See, that's the problem. That's the part that pisses me off, too, is anybody gives that support, and that's what triggers him to oh, well, she's getting support from people, so now I need to tear that support down. And that's what starts to trigger him to do that, is when he sees people supporting his ex-girlfriends that he's trashing. It's that you guys not see what's going on with anybody who defends Meredith. I mean, look at MLF trying to say she called in. He damn well knows that's not her voice. Look at what he's trying to do with Babs or Chris or any of the other girls. It's retaliation for speaking up. It's a way to silence people. Funny coming from a man who constantly talks about the First Amendment. He's very desperate. Very, very desperate, Peggy. Extremely desperate. I believe the Facebook comment was, yes, 2 years ago, or about 2 years ago. No, she does hate him. That's what I've been told by people who know. She hates him. She wants nothing to do with him ever again and wishes that he would shut the fuck up and stop saying her name. I can't blame her, but at the same time, yeah, he calls people a food stamp 5 and people don't even have food stamps. I don't even have food stamps. I don't get a penny in food stamps, but nice try though, bub. Nice try though, bub. The shit that he says is just so fucking wild. Wild. He just makes it up, goes with it. If it sounds good, and it's so wait a second, we should also be disparaging people who get food stamps? I'm sorry. Since when do we disparage people who need help? Make that make sense. You know what I mean? No, I don't think that's, remember, that was a thing that like he wanted to talk about after, which is like, she's a horrible person, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, cool. Why weren't you saying that 2 years ago? Alex has been outing Hooray for years. Yeah, we're going to go over that. Henry doesn't like Turtle Boy because he's no longer useful to. Well, he's not. No, he's not useful. As a matter of fact, he's probably a bigger liability than anyone else. You know, you know, but that's what he tries to do. Magic is shut people up. Oh, hey, Biker Daddy, nice to see you. Thank you, thank you. But that's what he is, childish, very childish. It's how he operates. It's when people start to realize that it is. That's when they start opening their eyes and they can't unsee the really awful shit that he's done and that he continues to do. Well, that's the thing. Tuberculosis is feeling the hate big time. And it's like, how does it feel? All that hate that you throw at everyone else for no good reason other than they didn't lie for you or they're not going to bow down to you, right? How does it feel, Aiden? I don't need 4,000 people in my chat or 50 super chats to tell me that people are opening their eyes, because I take the time to connect with people in real life, right? They don't have to throw money at me for me to talk to them. And does that cost my channel? Sure, it does, right? That does hurt the bottom line of the channel, which is obviously to make an income while doing something that I love. But I'm not going to change my opinion on someone or something based on money. Not going to fucking do it. Sorry, not sorry. People have to have their own boundaries. Have to. And his ego being hurt is like the equivalent of like someone chopping his hands off to anyone else. You know, exactly. With the rest of us getting hit by a truck. Difference is bones heal with treatment, broken egos don't. And for him, he's such a whiny bitch boy that if he thinks he's even getting slighted by one person, even a smidgen, he goes full nuclear. You ever seen those cartoons where like the steam comes out of the person's head and the head pops off and like the smoke and that's what I picture it to be like when someone even says one singular thing he doesn't like. It is a huge red flag, YBE. And you know what he does? He constantly talks about them to the current girlfriend and then ask, and I've heard from a lot of girlfriends the same thing, that he will actually ask them if it's okay if he sends them videos of him and his exes having sex. What? I'm sorry, what? Yeah. Yeah, like the man is such a sexual. I have never heard somebody talk about sex more in my life. That man is a deviant. Listen, everyone likes sex, okay? We're grown adults here. Everyone likes it. It's a thing. But I have never heard someone talk about it more than he does. I honestly think he needs Sexaholics Anonymous. Not kidding. Dead serious. You know? Oh, yeah, he doesn't like being called a liar when he's actually lying either. You know? He just calls everyone else a troll. He'll just say, oh, you're just a troll. You're just listening to the trolls. Don't listen to the trolls. You know? Sassy, I believe there's a reason why his ex-wife hasn't talked. I believe she's protecting her children. And as we know, he's illegally wiretapped her, and I'm sure that's not the only one that exists out there. So I have no doubt in my mind that he has threatened and tried to blackmail her in the same way that he does to every other woman that he has ever dealt with or been with in any way, shape, or form. That's who he is, unfortunately. You know? They're saying it's only coming out because he supports TV, but it's odd that the comment is 2 years ago. Nope, that's not what happened. What happened was his name was just found out. So that's the reason why it was just found out. If people knew his name ahead of time, they would have known that. And to be fair, Ray from Dallas was born simply to help Aiden and the Glare. That was it. That's the reason why that channel was even born to begin with. You know? I mean, that's just gross. It made him sick, he said, but played it 3 times in regards to the guy's vivid explanation of what happened to the child growth or children. He's just gross. You know what I mean? So that's the other thing. When he was with Meredith, I remember him talking about Lindsay all the time. All the time. So it's like, at what point, sir, do you stop? I mean, no wonder why these women eventually get sick of wanting to deal with you. You know? Weird. Yeah, he's been taken down on other platforms. He's lost channels on platforms before. Oh, thank you, Shay. Thank you. Yeah, they found it because people finally knew his real name. Yeah, I mean, come on. He throws himself on the floor and cries and throws fits. I don't want to go back. I can't go back. It's definitely malignant narcissist behavior, in my opinion. That's, giant red flags. Giant women should run from him. I feel horrible for this poor girl that's dating him now, but at the same time, like, hey, happy hump day, my friends. You weren't here earlier, but I did tell everyone else that the super chat membership thing should be fixed. And if anybody tried and it was pending, it should have already fell off. I talked to YouTube yesterday and they said it should be working fine now. They don't know what the glitch was, but it shouldn't charge you fully because it's not going to my, like, it's not posting to my account. It should fall off and go back to your account. So it should have been pending, then it should have went back. Talked to one of you guys this morning via email and it did. So just keep an eye on your things, and it should be working now. So I guess we'll find out if anyone makes a super chat or gets a super sticker or gets a membership. We'll see if it's working. We know that it was working in the UK, right? But for the United States, for some reason, it just wasn't working yesterday on mine. I don't blame you, Allie. I would too. If a guy was constantly talking about his ex-girlfriend, I'd be like, why are you with me then? What is the point? What is the actual fucking point? What would be the goddamn point? Did he say anything about Cosgrove? I have no idea because I don't watch him. Oh, it worked. YB, he sent a super sticker. Thank you, YB. It worked. I'm glad it worked. Thank God. They don't know what it was. I contacted them for you guys just to make sure, like, you guys would get your money back if it wasn't posting or whatever. And they were like, no, it should be working fine. So, I mean, it works. It works. Thank you for checking it. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, YB. Thank you. Yeah, all the foul shit that Ray from Dallas has said, and then he has the audacity to play the victim, is like a get the fuck out of here. But it's the same shit Aiden does, plays the victim, right? Plays the victim. Like, I don't think it's like, weird to not, you could talk about sex, but it's weird to talk about it as much as he does. Everything he talks about, he has to correlate it to something sexual. He can't just have a normal conversation ever. It's weird. It's fucking weird. It is weird. I would be out if somebody was constantly talking about their ex, unless the ex was like doing crazy shit, like stalking them or like, obviously gonna have to talk about that. But like, if you're just talking about them for no real good reason, like, what in the actual fuck are we doing? I could probably imagine a bunch of my exes doing that still, to be honest. To be honest, I can imagine in my head some of my exes doing that. I remain cordial with most all my exes I've ever had, and most of them would beg for another chance. But so it's like, I can imagine their wives or girlfriends being like, shut the actual F up, Hey, Sparkly Rabbit. He talks about it like he has an audience of red pill incels. It's really weird because there's such an older audience, many who are married. A lot of it's 80% of his 80 or 90% of his audience is women. Funny enough, 30, I think it was 33 or 35% of my audience is men. That's a pretty big percentage for someone like me. So I thought that was really cool. So for all you men out there, New Hampshire dude, biker daddy, Grave when he's here, Jack, like all my guys, I appreciate y'all because, men most of the time want to watch, cars. And believe me, I love cars. My dad was, a mechanic. My grandfather was a diesel mechanic. So I work my way around a car. I can do the brakes myself. I can do the oil change myself. Anything that doesn't need an engine hoist, I can do myself, right? And that's thanks to my dad and my grandfather. I know more about cars than my husband does. But most guys want to watch like stuff like that or sports that they like, which, by the way, a huge Patriots fan. I am probably the biggest Patriots fan woman you've ever met in your life. I always watch football, even when we were doing shitty, because I enjoy football. Football is my sport. Funny enough, I played soccer, cheerleading, volleyball when I was younger, until I could no more. Until I was pregnant with my oldest, and the coach called that year because I was still in high school and asked if I was going to be playing soccer. And I said, Coach, I am looking like the soccer ball, so I cannot play. Sorry. But I mean, see, that's the thing, Sassy. They just talked mostly on the phone. They weren't really always in the same place, except for like court, like small events like that. There was only a handful of times they were in the same place. So most of the time that they talked was like on Signal or on the phone, you know? So that's the thing. As far as we understand, he's not allowed alone with his daughter unless she wants, you know. Supposedly he's lying about driving her to the bus stop. Well, that's interesting. I do know that he wasn't going to be alone with her. So I don't know if that like includes just the bus stop or not. Because I mean, he doesn't have to drive her to the bus stop. He drives over to his ex-wife's house and just walks them across the street. So to the bus. So I don't think that she has to get in his car or anything because he drives to the ex-wife's house for them to get on the bus. They don't go to his house to get on the bus, you know? Yeah, his kink is people knowing. It's gross. Like, nobody wants to know, bro. We don't want to know about your weird sexual escapades, my dude. Right, sugar mamas? Sugar mamas. You know, I wish the judge would send him to a psychiatric facility, but I can tell you this much. No psychiatric facility can cure what he has. Narcissism is not curable. And so he'd be better off in jail at this point where he can no longer hurt anyone else, you know? Well, I mean, she's probably tolerated it for the sake of, like, caring about him or loving him and him using the gaslighting effect, which is, oh, it's satire. It's my audience likes it. It's funny. Like, you know, oh, thank you, New Hampshire, dude. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. I hear TV simps legit bragging about TV having sex. Ew. No, he doesn't get it in. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, he can only find one girl that will deal with him for a short period of time at once. You know, I'm really sad for some of these streamers. Like, I even forgot some of these people exist, but like Rat House and like, you know, we're talking about people who are just jumping on a bandwagon. A bandwagon. Melissa Tomei and my cousin Vinny, that's so funny. He probably can't finance his defense. He can finance it, he just doesn't want to. Girl, me too. Well, I like the Celtics too, but go Patriots. You know, I think anybody gets a heebie-jeebie seeing on to that little fucking munchkin, you know? Oh my God, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that, Nick Wilson. That's a fucking good point. I saw a post yesterday about Aiden having a marketing company which went bankrupt. So he had a company and he got sued. And part of the lawsuit was that he had to shut down his quote company and take down the website. And so that's when Turtle Boy was operating as like a company. I don't know what it operates now as. But he had a lawsuit, and part of that agreement was that he could no longer run it as a business or a company and that he had to take the website down. I don't know if that is what you are referring to or if it's something else, but that's the only thing that I know about personally is that. And I believe that's the name of what Turtle Boy Sports was originally, was Worcester Digital Marketing. It wasn't a marketing company. That's just what he called the blog under like an LLC, was Worcester Digital Marketing. No, it's not. I don't have any videos on that one. There's some court paperwork on that. I might have it somewhere, or Ashley might have it somewhere. I don't know if I've ever shown it on screen though. But part of it is, like it says right in it, that he has to take the website down and absolve the company. So get rid of it, essentially. And Nick Wilson is right. He did. He came into the chat demanding that the two hosts that had Jen O'Donnell on kick her out, right? That they need to get her out of there. Aren't they embarrassed? I remember him saying, which is like, aren't you fucking embarrassed for coming up here and screaming free speech, free speech? This is about y'all's free speech and my free speech, and it's all free speech. And I'm going to win my case just because it's free speech. And I'm not worried at all. Let me just throw it out there. When someone has to say they're not worried, that shows you how fucking worried they are. He's absolutely worried. He knows it's not free speech. He has to say it over and over, because if he doesn't, other people won't get riled up and send him money and, you know, support him in their free speech. And so the way that he gets people to care is by saying it's about their free speech. Well, if my free speech gets screwed with, then your free speech is screwed with here. And so we need to rally against it, and you need to help me, rah, rah. And then the other thing he does is he tries to tie himself to the Karen Reed case. Still, even though his cases really have nothing to do with one another, he still tries to tie himself to that by claiming that his case in some way could help Karen. It can't. It has nothing to do with it. It can't do shit. It can only hurt. It cannot help. And so, but that's what he does to get people to rally behind him and give. He doesn't care about free speech. He cares about his free speech. There's a difference. And also, there's a fine line between free speech and what the fuck he does and did. That's not free speech. Okay? There's no other journalist being arrested or charged with it because no other journalist crossed that line. He loves to talk about other journalists, and Bradel loves to point at them all and go, well, all of you, I'm fighting for all of you. No, you're not. None of them have been arrested and charged because none of them have crossed those boundaries. They know where they lie, and Aiden does not. That's the difference, right? That's the fucking difference. Oh, God. I remember Lindsay telling me that at the beginning of the relationship, he had told her that he hadn't filed taxes in 10 years before that. You know? So, no, I don't have a video, but I have to look to see if either me or Ashley have the settlement in that. Or you can request it from the court, but I'd have to figure out, I forget which court it was at, but I can figure it out for you. I know. Listen, we remember that time. We missed so many. But we've also met a lot. We met Gronk. That was fun. I met TV back in December. I was not impressed at all. One in real meeting. So that's the thing, right? Let me ask you something. Thank you, Amber. Let me ask you something, New Hampshire dude. This is going to be a good question, right? When you met him in person, right? And you went up to talk to him, right? Do you remember at all when you went up to talk to him, if he looked you in the eyes or if he looked at you for 10 seconds and then started looking everywhere else? Because I've heard many people say that, and I've watched him do that in person, where someone will be talking to him, and instead of paying attention to the person that's talking to him, he's looking everywhere else to see who else is looking at him, to see who else wants to pay attention to him. He's looking for that admiration, even while someone else is trying to speak with him. Even for 10 seconds, he's darting all around the room looking at other people. I knew it. No contact, not eye contact at all. I knew it. That's what he does. He's not paying any mind. And I remember Lauren saying to me, like, well, he wasn't like that before the Karen Reed case. Now he doesn't even pay attention to the people that, when I pointed it out, she was like, now he doesn't even pay attention to the people that, talk about, like, that talk to him. Like, he's looking everywhere else. And I'm like, yeah, I've noticed myself. And she's like, he wasn't like that before the Karen Reed case. But it's because he was. Who the fuck was he before the Karen Reed case? That's the point. He was no one. Like, he doesn't have much of a future. Look at all the wiretapping he's done. And people keep his viewers skip right over that part. Like, he's wiretapped pretty much anybody he's ever been on the phone with, and they just skip right over that like it's normal and okay. It's like, cool. When it's you, and I said this to someone yesterday and they never responded. They said something like, oh, it's funny or it's satire. And I said, until it's you, right? I go, so when it's you, who do you think you're going to be calling for help? Me? Maybe Kate, maybe someone else who's fighting, right? Chris, like, who's going to help you is my point. So maybe you should really think hard before you sit there and talk shit to people you're going to end up wanting to help you later on. We can't be that bad if we're willing to fucking let bygones be bygones while you're sitting there trashing us, and then we feel bad when it happens to you. Open your eyes. If you give that man money, you might as well just burn it. Flush it down the toilet and burn it. All you guys are doing is putting money in a house for him. That's what you're doing. You're handing him a house. While he consistently threatens and intimidates and doxes and harasses and wiretaps other people, you're buying him a house. Applaud the bad behavior. Such a great idea. What you should be doing is helping support the people fighting against that behavior, because we can't do it alone. We cannot fucking do it alone. And the way they treated Jen O'Donnell was disgusting, deplorable. I was one of few that spoke out when that happened and continue to say so. People are too afraid of what he'll do to them if they speak for Jen. Like, if you've never gotten to know Jen or you never had a conversation with Jen, you should, right? We might not believe the same thing in the Karen Reed case, right? But as human beings, I connect with Jen. As a human, as a person. And when no one else would have her back, I did. because it's not about whether you like someone or whether they said something bad about you one time because they believed Aiden. It's about what's right and what's wrong. So even if I had hated Jen at the time for the things that she had said about me, to me that was irrelevant, because what he was doing to her was far worse than someone saying something about me or believing his lies. It was far worse. He was destroying her actual life, which is what he does to people. And so to me, it was important to let her know that she was not alone in it. That none of these people who get harassed by him are alone. There's always someone there. I'm there. Even if you said something mean about me. You know, like, life is too short to give a fuck about that once you realize like who he is. I don't want that to be held against people. Like, yes, I understand it's easy to fall into, you know, it is. And until you see him for who he is, you can easily fall into it. Very intelligent people have fallen into it. To me, it just, oh, you're sipping on your turtle, you're sipping on your turtle cheers. I have my sipping on my turtle cheers cup. It's in the other room. But a lot of people just never could stand Aiden to begin with. You know, she's good. I recently talked to Jen. She's doing well. You know, and it just, my heart still hurts for like the way that he treated her and how far it went. And it's like, how many other people do you think that happened to? Like, Jen's stuff was very public, right? She begged him to leave her alone before she had to be hospitalized. And it's like, how many other people do you think had to do that? But it wasn't public. At what point do we say enough is enough? Do we wait for somebody to kill themselves or for one of his minions to hurt someone else because they're that insane before people say enough is enough? This behavior itself should be canceled. Like, at what point is it enough for anyone? To me, it seems like it has to happen to someone they care about or someone they know for people to wake up sometimes. And it's like, I don't know anything else to try at this point. You know? I also have a funny feeling they're not going to offer him a deal, because unless he has something really fucking good on some people, I don't know what they could offer him or would even want to offer him at this point, you know? Thank you, Maestro. See, I knew someone would be able to point you to where it is. Thank you. But it's there. So if you go to where Maestro, you should be able to read the whole thing. Oh God, I think we all miss so much sometimes, you know? Oh my God, he called the cops. Do you guys remember? He called the cops on JLR. JLR went across the street from his house on the sidewalk and was like yelling things at him, and he called the cops. He called the cops. It's like, but you're saying you can do that and it's totally okay, but you called the cops on him? For a man that says all the cops are corrupt and everyone's corrupt, he calls the cops a lot, huh? Like, he absolutely calls them a lot, right? In a way that he needs to use the legal system and the police like a sword and a shield. How do people not go, that's a little hypocritical. I don't know if I can believe this guy when he is saying this is okay behavior for him to do, but when someone else does it to him, he's calling the cops. Why does that not compute in people's brains? And they go, oh shit, wait a second. This guy is just a fraud. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. So remember, Chris, way back then, I said there's no chance that she's going to let Beto join the Karen Read trial with Karen Read's attorneys, because there's such a large conflict that the attorney can't. So if he gets evidence, and I explained this way back then before the judge made the decision, and I said what the judge would do, and lo and behold, that's what the judge did. People are like, no, I've never seen it be denied. I'm like, it'll be denied. And the reasons why is because if he gets a piece of evidence that helps Aiden and Karen, but he can't disclose it to Aiden because he's on Karen's case, how is that in the best interest of Aiden's case? And how do you pick whose case it's going to be in the best interest of? You can't. It's not possible. So it's not about like being able to keep the cases separate. It's about you can't have the best interests of both of your clients when those cases have conflicts. Not that close. There's no fucking way. And so I knew immediately the judge would be like, yeah, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, not even close. I mean, she's okay. I've talked to her. Yeah, see, and I knew he wouldn't give eye contact. He looks all around the room at everyone else. Sad. You know? He's a cop caller. He is a cop caller. That's all he does. You know? That's all he does. Literally. I hope that people start having zero interest for, you know, people like him, you know? All I know is my theory on Aiden's sports gambling at all. Did you notice his feed the other day? His teams won. He was over the moon. Next post was about buying a house. Exhibit A. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. Help me find my shoe. He's calling the cops. Help him find his fucking shoe. You know? Yeah, we're going to go over a little bit of that in a bit. And say people are sick. Why are people sick to watch him? Like to watch James Jackson? I'm confused. Or do they mean to watch Ray? Right? Animal control. Come get your whatever that is. While you're at it, pick up the Bigfoot in Tennessee, you know? Anyone knows someone in property for no reason except his teams had just won. That doesn't shock me at all, you know? The family member shows faces people who can't answer questions for hours. Is Ray the one that got his name from YouTube? Yes, yep, that's the one. I burned my TV shirt. I love you. I love you, and I love that you did that. I think he already purchased. He went by this morning, said, that's my house. Oh, great. I hope they take it from him in asset forfeiture for his victims. You know, I believe he planted it. That's my opinion, obviously, but I believe he fucking planted it. I mean, how do you blame, quote, the food stamp 5? First of all, I'm part of that. Secondly, Kate and Lindsay were actually in Dedham that morning. It's on their, like, phones for, like, who they were far away from there, nowhere near there. I was home, which is completely far away from where the hell he lives. Over an hour away. So exactly who in the, quote, food stamp 5 would have killed a turtle and then hung it at his parents' house? I don't even know where his parents live, but hung it at his parents' house for what reason exactly? I fully believe he did it to himself. It was just another thing to get fucking attention per usual. It's what he does. I don't believe there's anyone who would actually do that. And you know what I find funny about that dead turtle that are at his parents' house? Then why all of a sudden does a small dead turtle in a jar show up at Ashley's house? Why is one person arrested and that person immediately flips on the other person who brought it to her house? They put it in a package, brought it to the front of her building with her name and address on it, except they didn't know which apartment it was. So the cameras caught the guy bringing it to the front. And immediately he flipped on the other person that had him bring it there. So I find it funny they're both dead turtles. And it wasn't Steve Coate. Pattern maybe? And that was a way to shut Ashley up, to keep her quiet, to stop her from talking about what she dealt with when it came to Aiden. Funny that it was a dead turtle in a jar, huh? A small one, but nonetheless, it was about this big, and they put it in a jar, and then that jar in a box. Funny, huh? Funny how that works? No correlation, though, right? He expects me to believe that. Get the fuck out of here. You know? Just insane to me. A lot of people could never stand him. You know? I think a lot of people do tolerate him, but what needs to happen is they need to stop tolerating him, because the tolerating him is exactly what allows him to hurt more people. You know what I mean? It's sad. It's just sad. Girl, listen, I feel you. Yesterday was a bad day. Of all the days on earth for the super chat stuff to be working, I think there was like 4 of you that were going to do it. And of course it wasn't working. And I'm like, of all the days that I would get a few of them, that's got to be the day that it doesn't work. Like there's no, my luck is just shit in general. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I didn't even know you could get someone's real name from the YouTube copyright system. But I don't agree with a lot of things that people do, but in his scenario, I don't know. What did he expect was going to fucking happen? Someone was eventually going to reveal who he was. He was so vile and so disgusting, saying some of the things he was saying. It was just really bad, you know? Grant's always been creepy. He's not a harmless conspiracy theorist. I promise you that. Take it from somebody who knows him in real life and in person. Like, and ask Julie Ginto too. She'll tell you. No, Jen O'Donnell. The shit that he did to Jen O'Donnell was deplorable. And he did that same sort of shit to Esty. And then he went on and, you know, he continues on and on, victim after victim after victim, mostly women. Like Chris keeps saying, why doesn't he come for me? He goes for all of Chris's girls, right? Which is me and a couple other ladies. But like, why come for Chris's girls, but not Chris himself? It just goes to show you he's such a fucking pussy. Oh, thank you, LTG. That was so nice. These are the 5 memberships she was gonna send yesterday. That's so nice of you. Thank you, LTT. So Stacy gets one, Sassy gets one, Mitzi gets one, New Hampshire dude, you get one, and Amber E. I love that. I love that. He tried weird shit with you? That's fucking weird. Yeah, the way that he treated Jen was just so disgusting and deplorable to me. You know, it pissed me the fuck off to no end. You know, the man is a hypocrite, the biggest one I've ever seen in my life. You know, yeah, JLR went there and he called the cops on JLR. You know, I don't think I've ever doxed anyone, not on purpose at least, and I never would. But if you come for my children or my family, I cannot help you at that point. Don't complain to me when you get doxxed. If you're hiding behind a fake account and you're coming for my family or people I care about, then expect that you're. See, I say shit with my chest. I'm going to say it from. I have one account on Twitter. Okay, one with my same one that you all see that are on Twitter. Right, one. I have this channel. I say what I need to say under my fucking own name. But if you come for my family and you come for my friends under 17 fake accounts, don't cry to me when those 17 fake accounts are revealed to the world. That is on you and nobody else. Maybe you shouldn't have used your fake accounts to harass people and to come after people's families and livelihoods. You know? Like, fuck, man. Maybe. I don't know. Pussy? Oh, I'll write it. Pussy. Vagina. He's got sand in his own vagina. Okay? That's why he's such a pussy, is because he's very uncomfortable with the sand in his vagina. Hello, Standing. Hello. Oh, New Hampshire, dude. That's so nice. 5 more memberships. Who got them? Samsonite, Edmonton. Oh, we're shaking the bushes. The Aggie Gemini, GSZ, Just It's McGee. Well, shaking the bushes this time. Hardcore. I believe in supporting a cause. Some get so personally, emotionally involved and lose their identity. I do think that a lot of people lose their identity. Thank you so much, New Hampshire, dude. That was very nice of you. The whole 9 yards. So with the shorter way stuff, I'm not in the center at all. I'm trying to stay clear of sharing it by searching myself. I'm still watching. Yeah, I think a lot of people are watching, you know? A lot of people are. Someone needs to resurrect that stream and notice his narcissistic rage displayed. Well, he displays it all the time. You know? All the time, literally all the time. I just don't see how people miss it all the time, you know? It's weird to me. So the Holden Police Department has helped Aiden in the past, but I think that is no more because the Holden Police Department was kind of called out by the Leominster court clerk, and it's on like tape now that the Leominster court clerk, and you can get the video. It's actually available, I think, maybe on Kate's YouTube, but you can also just request it yourself from the court. But the Leominster court clerk said in a hearing that he was very concerned at the way that the Holden Police Department was being used as a weapon for Aiden. And so that put them pretty much on notice at that point that people are looking at you for why the fuck you keep playing into Aiden's bullshit and why you're not holding him accountable. You know? It's that simple. The Epstein files, yeah, the 3 million pages they just released, right? TV Jess and Jimmy will spin it in a way that will keep their followers money. Well, that's the thing, Sam, is all they're trying to do, those sewer crew people there, are keep their followers sending them super chats and donos, which, I mean, again, creators should make money. That's the point, right? But at the same time, have some fucking boundaries. Lying to your audience and creating drama just for fun or backing up really awful bad. You ever notice that just like Aiden, when Jess has the same shit happen to her that she does to other people, she cries about it. She's got to go get an order. She's got to call the cops, or she's got to do this, or she's got to do that, or she's got to cry. Like, cool. Then don't do it to other people. It's called karma. What goes around comes around. If you don't want it done to you, don't go and do it to other people. Karma is a cat. My little love saying that. Karma is a cat. I'm going to tell her you said that earlier. Oh, my God. Speaking of which, okay, you guys are going to love this story. Yeah, Blair was the one that brought him in. No, I don't think you're crazy. He could, he lies about a lot. He lies about whether he peed yesterday or not, okay? Like, so, yeah, that's another weird thing. He still showed up at the courthouse instead of being with his family, which is fucking weird to me. I love you. That's so nice of you. We have other ways to donate to the channel besides Super Chats as well. there's a pinned link up at the top, and I haven't even done this the entire show because like I'm really bad at remembering, but there's a pinned link at the top of the chat, and you can use it to use any debit or credit card to donate to the channel that you want. You can hit the like button, that's free, and you can share, that's free. You can be here all the time, that's always a super help to the channel itself, and we appreciate y'all for doing that. And then there are the basic everyday other options like Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal, which are on the screen. And then all the other options are in the description of this video here on YouTube, which is like Chime, Revolut, and then I think the other one is these ones, Chime, Revolut, and then I think just the Amazon wish list. But and the link is also in the description, but you can use any credit or debit card for that. We very well appreciate any and all support because our channel runs solely on the support of people like you guys. That's it. If we don't get support that day, then we just don't make anything that day. That's just that, you know. I don't want to rely on other content creators and them bringing me viewers. I don't need it. I don't want it. And I don't want their viewers. I don't want them. I simply do not want those types of viewers. You know, you guys are here every time I stream, right? And I appreciate that wholeheartedly. I would rather have a dedicated small base of people than grow by 10,000 because he said my name and then have to keep those people happy and worry about what I'm saying and how I'm saying it or kissing his ass because that's where the money's coming from. Fuck that. I will never bow to anyone for any reason. And if you know me in person, like Life of a Dog Girl does, she can tell you she's known me her whole entire life. I will bow to absolutely fucking nobody. Ever. Not who I am. Not even a little. So, let's see here. Yeah, we're Chris's girls. And so we're like, okay, cool. If we're Chris's girls, you're coming for us. But Chris wants to know why you're not coming for him. Like, why so hard? You know? Why so hard? It makes no sense. He's afraid to go after certain men. Gee, I wonder why. Gee, I wonder why. I love when people get memberships because it makes my heart happy. Makes my heart happy. I want JLR to go again. I can't figure out how to contact or just say it on his chat. Yeah, I don't know how either. That's a good point. I think someone else was saying that for a while. Like, oh, come down for another one of his hearings. They wanted him to come down for another one of his hearings and like give him a taste of his own medicine, basically. Well, that's the thing, right? Like he brings trouble to pretty much everyone who breathes the wrong way that he feels like is breathing the wrong way. And it's like sad. It's just simply sad because people cheer it on. They clap it on, right? Absolutely, he should be. He got a really bad deal. He had to stop going to school and quit football. You can never get that back. Your college life, you can never get back. Hi, Sharon. You know, never, not ever. Not even a little. Oh, thank you, Claude. That was very nice of you. Greg is lost his marbles and needs fucking help. Happy Wednesday, Space Coast. You are one of my 30% men viewers, and I appreciate you for that. Oh, Sapphire. Hi, Sapphire. I love it. All the pups that watch with you guys, I love it. I know Life of Dog Girl has about 6 over there, so and Leah has a bunch too. So there's lots of doggies that watch our channel. Google Aiden Kearney finds a dead turtle. Aiden says police are investigating the same day Karen Reed trial was hung. Aiden steals the attention to claim someone hung a turtle on his parents' property. Yeah, I'm just not buying it. I don't feel like I feel like that was a setup. You know, that's just my opinion. But yeah, then she bragged about calling Meredith's employer. Jess Machado bragged about calling Meredith's employer. Like, is that because you don't have an employer and that you work for yourself, Jess, and you think that that's okay? It's not fucking okay. It is not okay to do that, bro. Simply because Aiden said so or Aiden told you so? Yeah, because he's a real great source of information, right? He's never been caught fucking lying or wiretapping or changing the narrative, Jess. Oh, wait. That's right. Jess herself told us that the hit piece, that's what she called it, article that Aiden wrote on her was a bunch of lies that she had talked to him and he never corrected any of it. So let me ask, Jess, what would make you think that that would be any different for anyone else? Or do you think you're special and it's just you he lies about, Jess? I'm just asking for a friend, you know, since you like to take his word on everything, you know? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, he said he was taking his son to the game, and then there was a clip where he wasn't. He was with adults, and he never took his son. So, like, he uses that's the third or second time he's done that, where he said he was going to take his kids to like a game or whatever, and then like people donated more money to like get them this and get them that, and then come to find out he never brought the kids. He brought some girl, you know. And it's like, why lie? Why not just say you're going on a date? I mean, I don't get it. Why lie? Why fucking lie? I don't understand it. Driving, so I can't read the chat. Who showed up to the courthouse instead of being with their family? Aiden. He showed up to the Karen Reed case instead of being with their family right when his mom died, which is just weird to me. There's no chance I'm doing that if someone in my family passes, you know? I'm trying to work a coffee machine. We can imagine how it's going. You just gave me a full visual of you trying to mess with a coffee machine, all right? And I can totally see it right now. You banging the thing around and hitting the side of it and being like, touching it, like, where is, like, that's literally, hey, Siri, how do you do this? That's what just popped into my head when you said that. Jess cries about being called big. Like, girl, you are, though. I can't take her seriously. See, that's the thing. Listen, I got a big ass. I don't cry about it. I do. I got a big ass. I have no boobs. I have no tits, no tit at all, right? I got very small boobs, okay? You don't hear me crying about it. I own that shit. Yes, I have small boobs and I got a big ass. Owning it. Who cares? Like, who gives a shit? It's weird. Yeah, I mean, Chris is pro Karen, but Aiden doesn't like him because, well, you know, he shows people who Aiden is, you know? She is mean, but she's very thin-skinned. So it's like, come on, man. Misogyny and sexism, double standards. He has a lot of double standards. Kind of smart from Karen and Meredith's point of view when you think about it. I mean, there's a lot of things that I think about, and I'm like, you know, putting them together as time goes on. Thank you again, Clive. Appreciate you. About all of this. And then you have to think back about all of the people that he hurt and in all of the ways that he hurt them. And it's just fucking heartbreaking, no matter what side of the Karen Reed case you fall on. Nobody deserves to have fake reports filed on them. Nobody deserves to have their lives harassed into oblivion. No one deserves people to spread lies and rumors about them simply because Aiden said so. He's a gossip monger. He's a baby back bitch. And you know who's also a classic bully? Who goes along with all of this? Jimmy. I might just open up a spaces in a way to allow people to give their comments on this very subject. Because we're live right now, and I don't want to open a link to the live stream, but what I could do is I could open a spaces at the same time that I'm doing this live and let people give their opinions. Just depends on how many of you would want to do that. So let me know in the chat if you would, want to give your opinion on this subject, and then I'll open a spaces and you can do that. So I'll tell you about the selfie. I told people this way back then. The selfie that Aiden took with Ben Affleck wasn't because he was going to play him in a movie like he tried to claim to people. It's because he ran into him in the Cape. Many other people in the Cape took pictures with Ben Affleck while they were down there as well. It wasn't some special thing where he met Aiden and then took a picture with him. A bunch of other people also took pictures with Ben Affleck because he was spotted down the Cape. So no, it's a real picture. He did take a picture with Ben Affleck, but it wasn't for some special reason. It wasn't because Ben Affleck's going to play him in a video or a movie. It's because he ran into him in the Cape, just like a bunch of other people did. And to be fair, yes, Aiden is like a foot shorter than Ben Affleck if he's 6'4". He's like almost a foot shorter. Well, I probably did underestimate between you two, but there's a lot of dogs, all right? My favorite Patriot of all time, Gronk, is my favorite, or Edelman. It could be a toss-up. Gronk and Edelman are my favorite, too. And I know you guys are like, why not Tom Brady? I love Tom Brady, but I've met Gronk in person, and I just love his personality as a person and what he does for kids. I, lived at Children's Hospital with my kid, throughout her entire life. She's had plenty of ins and outs of being in and out, and especially when she was a baby. We spent a lot of time there when she was a baby, a lot of time there. And over the years, we met many people, hockey players, baseball players, all sorts of people, DJs, things like that. But meeting Gronk was he had a whole dance party with the kids, and they sang Sweet Caroline, and they used props, and his brothers and his dad came with him. It was just really nice. And his just his overall personality is like, he's my favorite. I have a Gronk and Edelman jersey. It is a terrifying thought. As someone who works for a Fortune 100 company, I would die if HR contacted me about the damn internet. See, that's the thing. She still has freedom of speech. So it's like, why are you calling her job about her? Now, mind you, she remained silent for a long time. So at what point is she allowed to fight back? So she's not allowed to fight back, because if she fights back, you're calling her job. I mean, that's fucking weird. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you watch my yesterday's video, Peggy, I've actually called the Omni for comment on this, and I've asked for records of the police department to see if they went there for anything relating to that while he was there. So I'm waiting on that records request, and Leon from the Omni still has not given me a phone call back yet for comments on this. So we shall see how that pans out. You know what I'm saying? She blocked you. I mean, you're totally welcome. It's in your genetics. There's nothing I can do about it. You can thank our genetics for that, all right? It's not my fault. You can thank the rest of our genetics. What? I watched one of Jessica Shadow's lives, and when she was an advocate of violence against a woman, when she said her husband should punch his wife in the face. What the can't be that. No, I'm a domestic violence survivor. So yeah, no. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry, I had to take that phone call. My bad. Okay, so back to business here. Yeah, I did say that I would open up a spaces to allow people to comment on this subject, because now we're going to get down to the nitty gritty here, because it's not just Aiden that does this shit, right? He uses people like Auntie Deb and Jess Machado and the Glairer and these other idiots that fall behind them, which is like Rat House Media and fucking Broken Baker and all the rest of these morons that jump on. And they jump on for one simple reason: money. It's that simple. They can start a channel right this very second supporting Turtle Boy and having his back, and they will be rolling in donations that very day. And so that is the one and only reason why these people do this shit. And it's like, at what point, though, does your conscience in your brain go, I can't keep allowing this to continue just for donations. I can't keep allowing innocent people's lives to be destroyed because I want to grow a channel. At what point does your regular conscience kick the fuck in, people? At what point? I think Sam's right. It's couple believe anything he says. It's insanity, right? He did look like JLR. I agree with you, Sassy. I think the guy that played him in that thing looked like JLR, and I think he was really mad about it. Hi, Parker. I think he was really mad about it, really upset about it. I love Edelman, too. Him and Gronk are and they're actually real life friends. He did look like JLR. He did, man. I mean, that poor guy, if he had to do actual research to play Aiden, I feel bad for him. Do you imagine how much cringe level shit he had to watch? You know, Edelman's your third cousin. I love that. See, but you should meet him, right? You should be like, hey, we're third cousins. Can we possibly meet him doing my family tree? I mean, what do you got to lose, right? The only thing missing between TV and the glare is an old van. Oh, I can't stand it. It's so true. Yeah, Glare was claiming that someone is accusing him of rape from the hotel he was staying at, which is the Omni, when he went to Boston. So that's kind of weird. He said that the Omni, quote, did the right thing. So I called the Omni and I talked to someone about it. And I said, I'm going to do a story on it. Does the Omni want to give comment? She gave me Leon from marketing's number and said he was the one who would answer me on this. Leon did not answer the phone. I left Leon a voicemail and Leon has not called me back from the Omni. So I'm going to guess that they don't want to give comment. But that's okay because I got records requests to find out if the authorities were ever called to actually do an investigation themselves, or did the Omni just sweep it under the rug? Just asking. Just want to know. I don't think it'd be good for the Omni if they just did sweep it under the rug instead of calling the authorities to do a proper investigation on it, you know? Oh yeah, dog whistles all around, you know? That's what they do. They use dog whistles in a way to harass people. But I think if enough interest happens, I will put up a spaces and let people speak. You know, people should believe Aiden when he shows them. And the problem is then he spins a narrative that he is then the victim and the person telling the truth about him is the bad person. Me or anyone else are the bad people for speaking up. He's not the bad person. We're the bad people, right? She gets pissed when people use her own words to call her out. It is a pattern. They're all afraid of Aiden and what he'll do to them if they dare criticize him or say anything about the shit that he does and says. If they said they don't agree with the illegal wiretapping, well, he would have a lot to say about them, and they can't have that. So instead, they shut their mouths and they say nothing out of fear. I will not let fear control me. I will not fucking do it. I will not. It's definitely patterns of behavior that Aiden's been doing for a decade, you know? All my DMs. Their conscience doesn't kick in, but that's like depressing that their conscience doesn't kick in, you know? It's depressing. It's sad. It's really fucking sad. It's just simply sad. It makes me sad. You know? %. From yesterday? I only see something from yesterday, Amy. Or do you mean my text messages? Which one? Gotta be my text messages or my DMs. My things are always going off, so I never know which one you guys mean when you tell me to check. My DMs don't show anything. I see the thing from yesterday that you sent me that I forgot to play. See that. And then, oh yeah, my text messages. Oh, yay! Finally. I'm so ready to wear those. It's not even funny. Ooh, ColourPop has a Shadow of Secrets is back. I'm a big fan of ColourPop. I love some of their gel eyeliners. There could be, but there would be a record of the police going there from the logs for, you know, for something like that. Right? Send him over here. That's the story of it. I feel like his whole life is I drank a lot. Oh, thank you, Julia. Hello from England. Over the pond, my friend. My text. My text. My text. All right. Now, what color is my eyeshadow? Well, today, I've used a sort of reddish, darker, like maroon on the inside and a gold on the outside. And these come from my... Oh God, which palette did I use this morning? Actually, for you ladies, because not that the gents don't really care, but I used my Illuminati X Issa palette this morning by Isabel Bedoya. That's who it was designed by. And I used my glitter shade. This is a purple glitter shade. It's called Purple Dream, and it broke on me, but I use this red color here. It's called June 1st. And this gold down here, which is called Rich. And these are very pigmented, and I absolutely love this palette. I love all my palettes, but I love color. I love to mess with color. It's just like an art form to be able to mess with the color and put it wherever I want and blend it however I want and make it pop in whatever way that I want. And I love it. Makeup is like a tool for me. Like I can't, draw, but makeup I can do. Those are things I can do, Damn, that sucks. That sucks because I would totally be in on that, I mean, does anybody else I don't think anybody else, right? Playing with yourself isn't great, Wildo, right? It doesn't count. And I don't know if you guys were around when I renamed him, but his name is Wildo because, I had a whole meme. Didn't you guys see the meme? Oh, God, they probably didn't. Wildo, get your Wildo. Let me see if I can find it on my profile. I think you guys would get a kick out of it, actually. Because he's literally so far up Aiden's ass, you could spit him out. You guys remember that time I said, how does it feel up there, up Aiden's ass? Like, how does it feel? And his answer was warm, right? That's what he said. I didn't say it. He said it, right? So we decided that he's, so that Aiden uses him like a toy. He might as well be a toy, He's a Wildo. He's a Wildo. Let's see if I can find. Why are they not in order? Damn it. It's not in order. It's only showing me the one. Where's the second one? Damn it. Well, I had one of them giving them out at the baseball game. Wildo, get your Wildo. This is the hashtag Wildo. Introducing Sewer Turtle's favorite toy, the Wildo. Since Will's head is so far up Aiden's ass, he can spit him out. It finally happened. Now Aiden can finally use him as the Wildo he is. Congrats, idiots. The world sees you. And maybe I put it in here. These people put the funniest. Oh, here it is. Here's my, here's the Wildo vendor. Okay, he's giving out Wildos. All right. Wildo for you. Wildo for you. One for you, one for you. You get a Wildo and you get a Wildo, I did hear about Lawyer No saying until you don't, when someone, had Megyn Kelly had the interview and says, sounds like the Turtle Boy seems to be someone you might want on your side. And Lawyer was like, until you don't. Like, no shit. It's pretty stupid, Peggy, but these are pretty stupid people. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. I love that palette. Good for you. You'd be great at it, See, I mean, the dude lies about a lot, but so do the rest of them, You never know. Yep. And that's half the time what happens is he speaks before somebody else has a chance. You never know who's all the way around you. You never know who's taking pictures or videos or, you never know. It's a Wildo. It's kind of Wildo. Funny he's mad about witness speaking about sex abuse of a child and saying that he would never air that on a show or call RFD on that accusation, yet he has no issue with saying JJ off his girlfriend. You know what? That's a lie. Do you know how many other times that he's called somebody else a child abuser? Or similar? He's such a fucking liar, dude. All people have to do is refer back to his own shit to know that that's a lie from him. It is a creepy Wildo, but that's the point, right? It's a Wildo. I'm just saying, right? Like, I'm just saying, Wildo the hillbilly. I mean, for realsies. I mean, he has Down syndrome. Who reported Will as blow-up doll? Can it technically be grape if it's a blow-up doll? Somebody answer that question. Just saying. How about when those guys surrounded Meredith outside CF McCarthy's, and what does he do? Protect her? Hell no, put my phone and press camera. So that's the other thing. Like, cool. If I'm going to tell you right now, if that was my husband, there's no chance they would have gotten within an arm's length of me. Zero chance whatsoever that that would have happened. See, that's the difference between every other man and Aiden, is that he's a fucking coward. An absolute fucking coward. Absolute coward. It's just sad for him, you know? Completely fucking sad for him that he is such a pussy. Such a giant vagina. I feel like at what point do we say enough is enough and cancel the fuck out of people who behave in that way? It's not okay for people to sit there and eat up the shit that he puts out there as truth when it isn't, right? And then shit on these people in turn with lies that were told about them. That's not okay. And people don't seem to get it until it happens to them. You know? He could have left a lot, but he doesn't care about anyone but himself. Make no mistake about that. Oh yeah, everyone has turtle boy derangement syndrome. Let me make clear, turtle boy derangement syndrome doesn't exist. It's not a fucking thing. It's something that he says about people who don't like him. We could make one up about right now about what syndrome they have when they talk shit about me, right? It just simply doesn't exist. There is no such thing. So when people repeat that back to me, like, you must just have turtle boy derangement syndrome, I'm like, that's the most low IQ, dumbest fucking thing I could ever listen to in my life, is someone saying, you know, I have turtle boy derangement syndrome. No, I have a conscience. I have a conscience, right? I have a conscience. I don't just sit by idly when people are being trashed for no apparent reason. He is now trying to trash Babs. And I'm promising you that's not going to end well for him. Babs does nothing but be kind to everyone. She lets everyone speak, lets everyone have their own opinion, and she's not shitty to people, okay? Going after Babs, why? Because she has spaces and she tells the truth and people are listening? That's the only reason. There's no other reason to go after Babs. She's beautiful, and she's smart, and she's funny, and she's solid. You know what I'm saying? That was peak embarrassment, Shannon. Peak embarrassment that he used TBDS in that motion. You're a lawyer and you put a fake medical condition in a fucking motion. How embarrassing for you, sir. How embarrassing. I mean, go easy with the grown part, all right? Like, let's not give him too much credit. I don't think he's a grown man. He's a little man, but not a grown man. You know, he didn't grow all the way. His growth was stunted by his lies, all right? It was stunted. Let's not give him too much credit. He's not fully grown. You know, I think he didn't eat his vegetables or something. He won't cover shit. He won't cover anything that doesn't have Karen's name in it because he has to say her name 72 times to get people to support him. That's it. The victims and survivors could use the support, right? Like, you know, I have no doubt that people are suing him. So when they sue him and then his house is taken, he thinks if he puts it in a trust, it's just like all going to be saved somehow, some way. Like, that's not the way it works. Since you actively are telling people that's what you're going to do, then they can now prove that you're trying to evade and the court will just hand it over. Like, I don't know what world you live in, but like, he does have internet derangement syndrome. He actually once told people, and I think they wrote this in the article about him, was that the internet is like air to him. So cut off that supply and see what happens. Right? Cut off that air supply. Cut off that fucking air supply. If he can't use the internet, right? Plot twist. Twisted tragedy stress syndrome. The fact that he had anything to say about Babs just shows who he is. That shows you right there that the only thing that he's trying to do is shut people up and make them go away and make them be quiet. That's the only thing. That's it. He's not trying to make anybody do anything else. Now, before we get into the subject of how Aiden uses Jimmy like an old shoe, I'm going to play you the song that we made just for Jimmy this morning, because apparently Jimmy went on a rage this morning talking shit about basically anybody Turtle Boy doesn't like, including Nan again, because he's so obsessed with Nan. So obsessed. He is so obsessed with Nan. You know what's funny about that is Nan was nothing but kind to him. Nothing but kind to him. So that's what makes it like even sadder and more pathetic that at this point, he's still talking about her. You made how many fake accounts to harass the woman? She helped support you, okay? and you have nothing better to do but sit there and call the woman names. First of all, you act like it bothers her. She just laughs at you. Just FYI, she laughs at you because you're a fucking buffoon, right? But let's be clear here. You are absolutely obsessed. I didn't look yet, Amy. I didn't have a chance to. I didn't look yet. You're absolutely obsessed with Nan, and that's because you think it brings you content at this point. It's not funny. It's not cute, and I don't know how anybody could watch it and just be like, "Yay, this is what we need to talk about today. We need to talk about how Jimmy needs to call Nan 17 different nicknames because he thinks he's a comedian." Sir, Aiden doesn't like you, and you don't like him. Let's be clear about this. Jimmy hated Aiden, hated him, said at one point that he was using him. I'm just going to use him, he said. This is while they were pretending to be friends, right? At least he was just going to use Aiden to grow his channel. That's what he was going to do. Well, unfortunately, he didn't realize he was going to have to be stuck with Aiden forever. But he hated Aiden, could not fucking stand Aiden, but had no problem saying in text messages he was going to use him. He was going to use him. He was going to use him so he could get his channel and it would take off. And that was the only reason. He was going to ride that until the cows came home. Well, he has, but he didn't realize he was going to have to tether an umbilical cord to Aiden. So I wonder how much it hurts for Jim Crow Gillis, a.k.a. Auntie Deb, to have to tether himself to Aiden in this way and be stuck with him when you despise the man so much and you have to pretend to his face that you're friendly. Also, plot twist, Aiden doesn't like Auntie Deb. Isn't that funny? So they can't stand each other. They talk shit about each other to other people, but pretend publicly and to each other that they have each other's backs. You can't make this shit up if you fucking tried. Okay? You cannot. He should have lifetime restrictions, never allowed on the internet ever again. You know? Well, that's the thing, right? Babs, me, other people, we've fostered an environment for people to be able to not be attacked in and know that there's a place that they can go and not be, made fun of or insulted or, talked down to, that they can come here and be safe, right? They can be safe from that here or on Babs's spaces. And that, to a narcissist, that's a no-go because that allows other people to open up their own minds and make their own thoughts by talking to other people. That's a fucking problem for a narcissist. That's a huge freaking problem for a narcissist. They cannot have that. That is not something they can have. They cannot have that. That's a big no-no. Okay? That's a big, big no-no. Oh, yeah, the judge clearly saw right through it. Well, that's the thing. Why go after Nan? For what reason? Nan was nothing but kind to Jimmy, supported him, helped his channel. Like, for what? For what? Thanks, New Hampshire dude. Appreciate you. Yeah, like not for nothing, but he's not much younger. Like, there's no giant age gap between him and Nan. So it's like, what? Like, also, newsflash. Every year, everybody gets a year older. Yeah, everyone gets a year older every year, And I think he should go to jail because he committed crimes. Aiden committed crimes, Commit crimes, you go to jail. I feel like Nana sitting here drinking. Well, you're not Nana. You're you. Hot cocoa is good, though. A lot of people never thought he was funny. Never liked his shit because they just thought it was mean. And it is. Why shit on her? For what? For helping people out? For easing the burden? Like, I wish I had someone as loyal as that, And it's like, I have all of you and I appreciate all of you. And they had Nan, and they couldn't even appreciate what they had, right? They're making fun of someone and giving dog whistles simply because they can. That's just the most deplorable. Like, how do you not appreciate the people that have your back? The people who are here every time I stream, like, that means the world. That means the world. Like, that's showing the algorithm that people want to watch the content, right? Like, even if you never gave a penny, you're here. You press that like button and you're here. That makes a difference. They don't realize that. They don't realize that it does make a difference. Connecting with your audience makes a fucking difference. All they see is dollar signs, and that's all that matters. And it's like, yes, I get it. Money makes the world go around. We all need it. Believe me, I'm a poor person. I know how that works. But you also have to remember that, like, you can't make someone support your channel, right? They're going to if they're going to. They're not going to if they're not going to. No amount of this or that is going to make them do it, right? And it's like, if you had someone that was helping ease that financial burden with larger donations because they can, you couldn't even give them the basic decency and kindness to treat them with. They didn't ask for anything other than to be treated like you would treat anyone else. You couldn't even fucking simply do that. Or if they express one critique, even privately to you, not publicly, privately, you fucking go ape shit on people and tell them to die in a hole, right? Like, who does that shit? Aiden. And then who follows along in the footsteps? Jess Machado, Jimmy. Emily C needs to take all her fucking stupid coins back. All of her dumb coins. Oh my God. All the people who were in jail for selling weed makes me, I was just saying to my husband last night, that shit makes me so mad. Why? Like, let them all out right now. That is the, like, why? Why are we holding people in prison for having weed and selling weed? That's weird. Like, we have dispensaries, it's legal. And even in the states that it's not, like, why? Why are we giving people criminal records for weed? It's fucking weird, okay? And it's unnecessary. Like, let's be honest here. I don't even smoke weed, okay? And that's my feeling on it. We're talking about people who are actually hurting people in the way that Aiden does. Even though he's not out there stabbing or murdering people, he is severely damaging people's lives and hurting people. And yet we have people sitting in jail for selling weed, and he's out here running around like a fucking maniac. Yeah, because that makes lots of sense. Lots of sense, you know? Fucking ridiculous. Well, yeah, that's because it's all about money. Fines and fees and lawyers' fees and victim advocate fees that the courts charge you. They care about that. If they can let you off by charging you a bunch of like fees and stuff, they will. Because again, even the justice system is about money. Money makes the world go round, including our own systems, which is sick and gross. But let's be honest, if you have the money, it's not a problem, right? It's not a problem. Does Jess Machado know Jimmy don't like TV because she thinks they're three peas in a pod? If she doesn't know, she should. If she doesn't know, she should. You know? And that's exactly it. But at least she kind of admitted it. But she also used Nan. She bought two $250 chairs. $500 Nan gave her. That's a lot of money to start your channel with. Okay? For a studio. I don't have a studio. I didn't start in a studio, nor did I plan on it, right? You start from home, you save as much as you can, and you work with what you got, and you build up over time. But if somebody had given me $500 to start off, my focus would have been on the equipment and making a quality show, not two white $250 fucking chairs. Like, where are your priorities here? You know? No, what Nan said is he shouldn't be around kids because of the way that he behaves. The way that he acts, the shit that he says, he shouldn't be around kids. No wonder he's not a teacher anymore. You can't behave in that way. That kind of thinking and the shit that comes out of his mouth, I wouldn't want him working with my fucking kids. That's for damn sure. And to be fair, Nan didn't say anything for months, and he's using his fake accounts, his accounts, making fun of her, taking shots at her, and she said nothing forever until she finally started fighting back. So it was only recently that she said that, and I don't disagree with her. He shouldn't be around kids if that's the way he acts. You know what I mean? Hey, Pam. A lot of people know why. I mean, there's a few people that know why I really got fired, but I mean, you're talking about Aiden and Jimmy are two fired teachers, both of them. Would you want either one of those people working with your child? Because I fucking wouldn't. I would not want either one of those men working with my children. And I have 3 daughters. So no thank you. Right? They're making fun of her minor son and his name, which I love his name. It's adorable. You know? Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? I don't know. That's a good point. I can't remember if he was or not back then. I can't remember, you know? I mean, a lot of this shit has hurt a lot of people, you know? Yeah, in my opinion, weed's not a crime. It's just not, in my opinion. It's just not a thing. Like, I mean, if someone wants to smoke weed, like, why is that the justice system's problem or my problem or the taxpayer's problem? Like, it hurts nobody. Leave them alone. Like, it's weird, you know? I know the war on drugs, which is just one big joke to me and a lot of money wasted, you know? No coins for no drama. Meanwhile, yeah, I mean, still giving coins for all the drama. I mean, she gives a coin no matter what. It's just a running fucking joke at this point. Well, I'm sure she gets giant donations all the time because it's unfortunate, Pepper, but unfortunately, people would rather pay to be lied to these days. You know, it's sad, but I've watched it and I'm like, you know, if that's what people want to pay for, cool. Yeah, I'm in my hotel. This is my hotel. Do you guys didn't know? This is my migrant hotel. That's what Aiden said. This is what it is. This is what it looks like, right? Like, apparently, this is the whole migrant hotel. You know? Like, damn. That's what I'm saying. The overhead doesn't make sense for a small channel just starting out. You take a corner of a room, a living room, an empty room, your bedroom, the basement, the attic, like whatever you can start with is what you start with. Like, it's not that hard, you know? They're just friends, acquaintances and friends, I guess, you know? And that's the other thing. She made fun of LTL Studio, but she was in LTL Studio saying how wonderful it was and how she wanted his help to set up her studio. And that's why she really wanted one, because she saw LTL's and was like, oh, I'm going to do what he's doing. You know? Weird, bro. Like, you don't need a studio starting out. Like, that's just fucking weird. I mean, yeah, leave the kids out of it. It's weird shit. Hey, Wendy. It's weird. It's just weird to me, you know? I mean, to me, it's like it's just people surviving at that point. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, it's weed, you know? Hi, Wendy. Well, I don't smoke weed, so I wouldn't know anything about that. I don't smoke weed. I think the last time I smoked weed was probably like 18 or 19. I'm not a weed smoker. But I just feel like, why? Oh, thank you. I've had my pink chair for a long time. Before I had my show, I had this chair. Thank God. You know, I just wish people who say this 50-year-old man who recorded his crimes, bragged about them, should get a group home or some special reform program, which, if exists, are for those teenagers on him. It doesn't exist here in this state. What exists is jail. That's it. That's what exists. You know? And a lot of the kids that they lock up are simply for poverty reasons, unfortunately. Non-violent poverty reasons, trying to fucking survive, you know? Never understood Brian get a studio. Well, Brian got a studio a long, long time ago, but he's got a lot more subscribers than I do, you know? Like, I don't know what kind of deal he gets on it, probably a good deal. Nonetheless, you don't get one when you're just starting out. Trying to need a studio when she's just starting out was just fucking weird to me. So I'm going to play this song for Jim. You know, we have one of those for him this morning. You know, he wanted to come at my friends, dude, and talk nonsense like he does, simply to have the sewer turtles back, as if the sewer turtle is going to drag every single one of them down with him. You know, it's fucking weird to me. Weird. It's just fucking strange. So here's the thing. I'm done allowing these harassers, these really shitty people that use numerous fake accounts for one person, to sit there and insult, degrade, and lie about people simply because they think that that's going to get them more money and viewers. It's gross. And if you don't think that everything that Aiden Touch turns to shit, then you're in for a rude awakening. Because each and every one of you people that keep backing him and pushing his false narratives and spinning lies for him, it will come back to bite you tenfold. It has happened a million times over a 10-year period. He gets into these groups of people, he burns every single one of them, he loses entire audiences, and then new people come in and we do the same thing over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. It's gross at this point. At what point do people wake up and go, yeah, this is probably not part of this here. Oops. I can get it on the screen. That might be helpful, right? That might be helpful.
Whispers in the dark, fake smiles, endless spite. On Auntie Deb, Jim Crow, Gillis, you group clown. Racist, rants, unfunny, tries to wear the crown. Failed teacher, fired, mom's basement, his throne. Obsessed with men, that lawyer shining on her own. Kind, beautiful, smart, generous, clean. He stalks and mocks from shadows, violent, mean. Sewer turtles, puppets, silent finger foes, dozens fake accounts, harassment overloads. Coward in the corner, insecure little boy, two-faced grifter, greed is only joy. Sneaky, diabolical, disgusting, deplorable, holds the coattails tight, bottom of the barrel. Pretends he's friendly, then shit talks behind. Use the turtle for clicks, now that's for life. Sexuality excuse for his twisted lines. Shouldn't teach kids, too afraid to sign his crimes. Endless Twitter torture, never shows his face. Grown man acting scared, what a disgrace. Fired for reason, dunce caps what he needs, unfunny twist. Disgraced, forever bleeds. Coward in the corner, insecure little boy, two-faced grifter, greed is only toy. Sneaky, diabolical, disgusting, deplorable, holds the coattails tight, bottom of the barrel. Sewer cruise, true, fading into night. Auntie Deb exposed, no more fake light.
You can make lots of bangers. Reminds me of the Pretty Reckless. I mean, there's lots of bangers to be made, all right? Lots of bangers to be made. Nonetheless, when you sit there and use your endless fake sock accounts to harass someone who did nothing to you, it goes to show who you are. For Aiden to go after Babs, for Jimmy to go after Nan, well, it shows who they are. I don't go after random people for no reason whatsoever. And I certainly don't just call people's names out and their families for no reason. I'll defend myself and the people that I care about. But when you have to go after people for no really uncertain reason other than someone like Aiden or Jimmy, they need to cover up what Aiden has done. Because if they do not hurry and cover it up and get people to believe their narrative, then they might see what the fuck is going on. And if they see what's going on like they are now, well, that causes an avalanche of other people to open their eyes. One person tells another, another tells another. In the same way that he spread those lies about people like fire, people wake up in the same way. And they're seeing that happen right now, and that scares them. So last night he decided he was going to do, the turtle decided he was going to do a show, and apparently needed to bring up Babs talking on JFK's show and try to like bash Babs. He was trying to give some false narrative of, because she said Aiden has victims, that means that she doesn't support Karen Reed and she supports the quote McAlberts, and that means anybody who says Aiden has victims is not supporting Karen Reed, and only he knows Karen Reed. And it's just, he needs to tie his name to Karen, even though Karen can't stand him. Doesn't want anything to do with him, can't stand him, and wishes that he would definitely stop saying her name, which I've heard from numerous people, but he will not. He needs to tie himself to her and keep it tethered in order to keep his audience there, right? And so his big issue is he's got to pull a narrative. And the narrative that he has been trying to push is anybody who says he needs to go to jail or thinks that he committed a crime doesn't support Karen anymore. It's ridiculous. I made it. I made it, girl. I made it. But the going after Babs and then trying to go after anyone else who's on spaces with Babs, who's affiliated with Chris, in any way, who is speaking up about him, who is helping Meredith or speaking on Meredith's behalf just because they can see what's going on. If you simply say that you don't even know Meredith and you're like, hey, like, this guy is a shit person, he did this, this, and this, and I can clearly see what's going on, like, he needs to talk about you now. Now you're a whole thing. So an entire, like, I heard most of the show about trying to spin a narrative about Babs. Babs is one of the nicest people. She'll let anybody speak as long as you're not being disrespectful and give a point, even if she doesn't agree with it. So the only reason you would have to come for Babs, unless you're Val and the Pick Me Girls, I feel bad for Val and the Pick Me Girls. You know, I feel like that's their new band name, Val and the Pick Me Girls. Yeah, she gives opinions and feelings, and God forbid anyone do that. He doesn't like it because it's people are having conversations about him and about his behavior and things that they didn't know that he did, and it's being brought to people's attention, and them realizing the things that he did pre-Karen Reed and then during Karen Reed, but behind closed doors, and they're disgusted. They're like, "This is gross. I don't. No, thank you." Right? And so he has a problem with that. You know, I don't know. It's a good question. They don't tell me. It's AI. It's AI. I'm trying to find James Jackson's stream from last night, and it's not showing. Did he take it off? I see nothing from last night. Literally. I see a live. I see 2 weeks ago, there was a members only. The last live that shows is 2 weeks ago, a month ago, 2 months ago, 4 months ago. I don't see it. Does anybody know, did he get rid of it? Well, that's the other thing. You should stop doing that shit then. You know what I mean? Stop fucking doing it. 6 days ago is the last one I see on James Jackson's show. He's not suing anyone. He's just saying he is. Let's be honest here. He says that shit just to say it. If he sues Meredith, he's going to lose. Meredith hasn't said anything that I can see publicly that's not true. That multiple other people can't back up. Giving it up, you can't also you can't sue somebody for their opinion. So if I say, I think that my opinion is that he probably uses some sort of drugs, maybe an upper, that's my fucking opinion, right? That is my opinion. You cannot sue somebody for their opinion. It's not the way it works. He's not suing anyone. He knows damn well that he cannot sue Meredith and win because there's nothing that she has said, at least publicly that I can see, that doesn't have truth to it. Everything she has said has been true. Everything. So you can't sue somebody for telling the truth and you can't sue somebody for an opinion. He's just saying it to rile people up. He took it down. Why? What the? Damn it. Why do people do that? It's like, listen, I get it. People get scared. They get scared that they're going to get pushed back. And it's like, stop being scared. Stop. That's all you're doing is giving him more fucking ammo. Or did someone threaten him to take it down or cry to take it down, beg him to take it down, ask him to take it down? Like, where is it? Why take it down, dude? Why? Why take it down? Of course he was talking about, listen, anytime he does that, someone send me clips of those, please. Because I don't watch his show. I want to see, like, how bad it is. You know? Why is it gone? Oh God, I wonder if anybody got clips. Hold on. Let me do a little digging here for a second and see. Hold on. Why take it down? Don't be afraid of these fucking people, dude. Like, don't. It's not under members only. I looked. It's not there. I think what really bothers me the most is like, aw. Thank you, Jack. Jack sends 1269 and says, hi, on Venmo. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, defamation, you have to say something that isn't true, and it can't be your opinion. Isn't it supposed to be on James Jackson's, though? It wasn't on JFK. It was on James Jackson, not JFK, right? Or, as far as I understand, it wasn't on JFK. It was on James Jackson. No, I don't think it was reported. He probably took it down. It takes a lot for like a video to come down on YouTube, like unless you take it down yourself. Like, you know, you can take it down yourself, obviously. Yeah, it was. Yeah, see, it was on James' channel. It's not there now. It's not there now. What? For me, it's like, why? Why take it down, dude? People get afraid that there's going to be pushback and blowback and people are going to talk about it. Well, no shit, people are going to talk about it. That's kind of the point, you know? That's kind of the friggin' point. We want people to talk about it, but why take it down? That's exactly, like, this is the kind of stuff that happens, and then I get very clips. Do you know who has the clips, Mitzi? Or can somebody send them to me in DMs if anybody knows where the clips are? Search and see if anybody. Oh, I got a clip. Hold on. What's this clip? Oh. No. Let's see. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, like, you have to know that if you're going to do this kind of content, dude, it's going to be talked about, right? Like, it just is. It simply will be talked about. Okay, hold on. What's this? Okay, let me see. I see something here. Something that Your Honor helped put up. Let's see what this one is. Oh, shit. Hold on. Gotta get this thing off the screen here. I gotta put this one up.
I am. That's most definitely who I am.
You know, and I appreciate that.
I agree with you on that, YBE.
You're not going to come on my channel and accuse, I don't care who you are, if I don't like you, whatever. You're not going to come on my channel and make allegations that someone that you walked in on someone I don't like performing oral on a young boy. Okay? You're not going to do that. I don't care who it is.
Oh, so he doesn't care if it's true. He doesn't care if it's a family member. He doesn't care if a child's involved. He's like, oh, you're not going to do that on his channel. You're not going to accuse somebody or something, but he can totally accuse people of all sorts of wild shit that isn't true with zero evidence to it. Or what he does is he takes something and spins it to make it his narrative. He can totally accuse anybody of those things. He can call your work. He can try to have your children taken from you. He can do all of those things, him and his minions. He can call, and he has. I heard recently he said that he hasn't ever called anybody's parents or family. That is a bold-faced lie. He has done that numerous times. So he can totally do all of that, but you can't. You can't, even when you were there and you saw it happen and you are testifying to the fact you saw it and you're telling people you saw it, like you totally are not allowed to do that, even if it's true, because, you know, only he is allowed to do things like that, you know? So it was a birthday thing. Yeah, it's gone. I looked. Does Chris have another? I know it's like nighttime. Chris is like sleeping right now, so I wasn't going to bother him. So that's the part, Sam, that I keep hearing from other people is what they're getting a little frustrated with JFK is they're getting frustrated with JFK not looking at what the law for witness intimidation entails, how Aiden did break the law, and not recognizing that he, in fact, did break the law. His charges are not bogus. Like this whole like, oh, his charges are bogus and we're still going to fight for him because his charges are bogus thing. Most people are saying that and I'm not talking about JFK in general. Like this is general. Like most people who are saying that are simply saying that to not piss Aiden off. They're not saying it because they actually believe it. They're saying it because they don't want to have a war with the man. Literally. At this point, almost everyone knows that he did commit witness intimidation. The statute reads what it reads. It is the law of the land here. And not even Aiden isn't saying that he didn't do those things. His argument in court is that it's First Amendment protected. It's not. The court says, well, the prosecution says it's not First Amendment protected. Well, so does the statute. The witness intimidation statute also says it is not First Amendment protected. Not even a little bit. I don't believe that. I mean, if you're a content creator, you know talking about something heavy like that is going to get backlash, no matter what. No matter what. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know that is going to happen. And I mean, even some stuff we talk about here, like sometimes it just naturally comes about and we talk about it. So sometimes there are, stuff with trauma, you know, and I get it. But people are getting frustrated that they won't go, like, at least even think about the fact that Aiden committed these crimes and he's going to probably face some sort of punishment for those crimes. Because a lot of JFK's viewers have woken up to who Aiden is. And they feel like maybe he's not reading the chat, or maybe he doesn't know his own viewers as well as he might think he does, because a lot of them are saying, like, you know, we're not really down with this whole, like, kind of backing up a little from the Aiden stuff. People don't want to see people pandering. They don't want to see people backing off, calling him out. They don't want to see, like, all of a sudden them just stopping talking about it, because in their eyes and in mine as well, you let Aiden win when you do that. When you do, that's exactly what he wanted you to do. And if he has sent enough people to bully and harass and intimidate and silence and smear people you know, and smear people going on your show, and smear people watching your show, and smear people who are donating to your show, then he wins if you just back up a little and give excuses, or don't talk about it, or don't actually go over a fair assessment of what his charges are and why, you know? Like, come on, man. Well, that's the other thing. Like, let's not parrot his bold-faced lies about Meredith releasing the video because she had access to his Facebook. That's simply just not true. So it's like, why would anybody at this point be parroting that? At this point, like, come on, guys. We do better, you know? Fucking do better. We, like, come on. There's a lot of people who have come to me saying this. And between last night and today, I got an avalanche of emails and DMs about this very subject, you know? And, well, it's not even about just the retaliation. It's about losing subscribers and losing money, both of which I lost. It is what it is. You do what you do. You do what's right, regardless of the outcome. I have still not picked up all the pieces from me speaking out. And I probably never will, because I will never go away. I will never not say something, because the victims deserve that. They deserve it. Ooh, I didn't, but I didn't check yet. I do see 3 notifications. Hold on. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Amber. Here we go. Here's a bigger one.
Right. Who's this?
Who's it? We got someone else. Ray. Who's this?
This Alex, man.
What happened to Ray?
What happened to Ray?
Oh,
What happened?
I know. He
So Alex, why don't you introduce yourself?
Man, he feared the truth, man. You know, when I step in the building, he know he ducking all the smoke, man, because he know I know the truth.
Damn.
Who's it? We got someone else. Ray.
So that's, I'm assuming, the cousin, right? That's the cousin. See, I wonder, let's see, what does Chris have on his? Oh boy. Clip 2-4. It's fun to prove people wrong and I have the receipts. No, he doesn't. I don't show receipts to Twitter. I show receipts to judges. Huh. Oh, that's right. He refused to show receipts about the fundraiser, but now it's fun to prove people wrong and I have the receipts to prove it. Which one, Aiden? Which one? You only want to show receipts when you can, right? You don't want to show receipts when you can't, right? It's not so fun, is it? Fucking liar. This probably falls under the financial and economic harm side of witness intimidation. Like I said, he will take a plea, but I really don't know why they would offer one. They have him by the balls, and I agree wholeheartedly with Chris, as I've said for a while. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination Aiden's going to go to trial. He's either going to try to catch a deal, if they'll even give him one. But he'd have to give up some serious information to get that deal, in my opinion. Remember when Meredith set out to raise $600 with our silly cat fundraiser and ended up raising over $5,000. Meredith is a fundraising queen, and we have Nan on our side, crowdfunding a defense in every civil matter. Should be no problem. TV cannot be trusted, and anything he says is a lie until proven otherwise with evidence. That's so true. Here is Aiden threatening to report someone to their employer for using the N-word. The same Aiden who says him and Jimmy using the N-word is perfectly okay. Hypocrisy. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Rules for everyone else but him, of course, guys. Let's see. Oh god. Oh wow, heard some of the funniest stuff when people are just being stupid. Friend Kit Kat Butterfly Sashi has had multiple accounts she has been banned from. Are you making a report on her? Oh boy. See, this is what happens when you... Who would have thought it would have got worse from here, but it did. Railway calls this man his soldier this morning. His own family says he's a child blank. Not my words, I'm just passing the message along. This was the post that that Alex guy wrote on August 21st, 2024, so it hasn't even been 2 years. That Alex guy is whatever in-law or cousin with Ray from Dallas, who is this person, and that's the allegation. Crazy to me though that, I mean, this is the shit we're talking about. This is a free Karen Reed space. Disgraceful. Every woman seen in this is a pig disgracing John O'Keefe's legacy. So, like, again, these are more free Karen Reed people and anti-free Karen Reed people coming together to talk, to have a conversation like normal humans and adults. And this is what his comment is, right? And it's because he's mad. It's because he is angry. He is upset that people are starting to see him for who he is. Oh, here we go. Here's a bigger clip. Hold on. See, of course I took it down before I could even see the bigger one. I didn't see this stuff, so I missed it before he took it down. Yeah, his name's Alex. Alex said he would take a lie detector test. He wants to be the voice for the victims. JFK is talking, though he's parroting TV. Well, that's not okay, though. Why are we parroting someone we know is a liar at this point? To me, that seems very much like pandering, and I really would hate to see JFK show pander to anything that has to do with Aiden, because they were the only ones asking questions besides me. And of course, I wasn't on the free Karen Reed side, so nobody was really listening to me. But on that side, he was the only one asking any questions. And then you uncover the wiretapping, but then you backpedal. Like, don't backpedal, dude. Stand your ground and say it with your chest, dude. Don't backpedal after you said it with your chest and then make excuses, because then what it looks like to people is that you've been bullied into submission. that you have been, subscriber dumped and dono pulled into submission, that you've lost so many subscribers and so many people who are donating that you have no choice but to pander. Fuck that. Fuck that. That's all their goal. Jimmy's goal, Aiden's goal, all those sewer crew idiots is to force other people, especially with opposing opinions and especially people who know the truth, off and out and to shut up. I can't do it. And I don't want to disparage any other creators because I enjoy some of these creators, but I really hate to see the pandering, If Bab's DMs ever get hacked, I'm screwed. Everyone will see all my DMs when James is on Spaces, like kick him. Yeah, why did he bounce so fast? Interesting, ain't it? TV is scared that Alex is going to be platformed and be the opposite of Ray. Well, it was okay when he platformed Ray, though, right? And pushed Ray. Told people to go subscribe, and he was great, right? Well, the witness intimidation statute could be broad, but guess what? It has been upheld as constitutional in my state, in Massachusetts. So people could argue it's broad, but it's there to protect people. It's there to protect people. You cannot go around telling witnesses that they need to change what they're going to testify to, or you're going to keep harassing their lives. You cannot run around saying, and it includes like using things like dog whistles, saying, well, if you just tell the truth, then we'll leave you alone. That means if you don't change what you're saying or what you're claiming, we're going to keep going after you. That is the definition of witness intimidation. Just using the word truth alone, he can't say, oh, I was just asking questions. I just want them to tell the truth. That's very clearly not what he's doing. He very clearly, in multiple live streams, says his intent is to taint a jury pool, says his intent is to harass these people into doing what he wants them to do. That is literally the definition of witness intimidation. And then he consistently does it to other people. You can argue right now that Meredith is a witness to numerous of this man's crimes. So why would you be retaliating, which is a part of the witness intimidation statute, against someone who is a witness to your crimes? Not very smart, but also we're not dealing with someone who's very smart, are we? Like, put my X info in the chat. But now, if it's a link, it won't let you, Sam. It only lets mods and me put links in. So if you put a link in, you might see it for a second, and then it'll disappear. Hooking people up to take lie detector tests. It is the way people go about these YouTube presentations. Well, I mean, you can't use witness lie detector tests anyway in court. Alex is this guy here on the screen. This is Ray from Dallas's in-law family member of some sort. Yeah, the links don't go through. I have them. It's you can set it to allow them or not allow them, but I don't allow them because so many of the turd writers put like malicious links up and shit, I agree with you, Sailboat Wolf. I think he's not getting. It's nice to see you, by the way. I agree that I don't think he's going to get a deal unless he's got some very pertinent information that they need or want. I don't think at this point anyone wants to give him any sort of deal. It's too little, too late for that. His time for a deal was a long time ago. I think he'll try. Alex is out of prison now, I think 2 years. I thought at first with RFD leaving and it coming up that there was a fight, RFD battle. Nope, plot twist. Alex was a guy on James. Yeah, he's right here on the screen. Yeah, a cousin by marriage, in-law. All right, we're gonna play the clip. I have not seen this, so again, I tried to get it on James's, but it's gone. Because we've kind of been untwisting things lately, Danny. So we decided that we were going to add the UN and untwist some of the things that people like Aiden and Jimmy and the sewer crew like Justin Chad have twisted into the fucking oblivion. And we are going to untwist it for all of you. We, for a long time, have been untwisting a lot of these bold-faced lies and assertions and narrative shifts that Aiden and his crew like to do. But we figured it was time for a rebrand, a soft rebrand, because we're not, we deal with very twisted tragedies, but we untwist them. We untwist a lot of this shit so that people can look at it clearly instead of being gaslit, That's why we did a little bit of a rebrand. Yeah, so that's the thing. I fall asleep too because some of them are up, different times, like if it's 9 o'clock here and they don't go on until their 9 o'clock, then that's, after midnight here. So his reign of terror is coming to an end, hopefully, Peggy. And what I hope is that people start supporting people who are speaking out. And there's not a lot of us, because we can't do it alone. And I'll say this a million times over, because I really don't think that people understand. We cannot do it alone. We cannot. We can't do it alone. There has to be people willing to speak out about their own experiences and the things that they've dealt with and the things that they know without lying for Aiden. There are a lot of people who have lied for Aiden. There are a lot of people who have, like, if he tells a lie about someone, he will have 5 of his minions co-sign that lie and pretend like they know that it happened, when in fact they know that it didn't. Some of them will know that it didn't happen, and they will co-sign this lie for him. And that's a huge problem when you have people co-signing bold-faced lies and things that never happened. I'm with you both on that. Like, being wishy-washy just enables him to keep doing this shit. It's enough with giving him a pass. He doesn't get any more passes. Also, Aiden keeps giving JB the credit for starting the free camera movement. He's being a smartass. That's why he's like going after Jay Brill by like doing. That's what he does. He takes these little digs where he pretends like he's a good person. He's a great guy. Takes these little digs by doing shit like that until he goes full-fledged psychotic. It's not even cancel culture. For me, it's like, I don't believe in canceling people for like one thing or like one thing they said wrong or a mistake that they made. Aiden's not one mistake. He's not one thing. He's a series of bad behavior that has hurt probably hundreds of people and families at this point. And so in my opinion, he deserves to be fucking canceled. Absolutely canceled. And I don't believe in canceling per se, but I mean, this is causing people's livelihoods, people's mental health. Like, this is well beyond like someone making a remark they shouldn't have, or, whatever, I mean, that's the thing. You can't be just, I mean, so what if they're controversial? So what if you get a little pushback? Like, I don't take mine down, they're there. Like, Aiden said he's going to write about so all he's going to do is write a blog, say a bunch of bad shit about him, probably pull up his old criminal record and be like, well, the guy's a criminal, so you can't believe anything he says. Newsflash, Aiden, you're a fucking criminal. You're a criminal. You're a criminal. Right? I mean, I don't know in what world he lives in that he thinks that's going to go well for him. I think MitKS77 is right. Like, stay in your fucking lane. Yeah, he says it on purpose. He's being a sarcastic asshole to be a jerk. He knows people will react. That's his whole like thing, Yeah, if it's on video, it's pretty open and shut, and I'm sure if the police have it, they have it, So instead of being appalled by the allegations, Aiden started attacking Alex, mentioning his prison charges. Of course, Alex admitted he went to prison, even said he beat up PDF files there. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, so what? He's going to pull up his old prison record and be like, oh, he's got some charges. Aiden, you got felony charges right now. Who the hell are you to be talking about anyone else's criminal charges, sir? You need to sit the fuck down and take several goddamn seats. Several fucking seats. Like, come on, man. Several goddamn seats. All right, let's play this clip real quick here. Back it up because it was already playing, because I have no idea what's being said here, but this was posted, so let's check it out.
Do not be discouraged. Take all y'all apologetics back. Take everything back from this this predator, man. Y'all take it back. Y'all don't owe him nothing, man. This man is sick. He been sick since I was young. Like, take everything back, man. Y'all don't owe him nothing, man. Everything he talk about is a bluff, man. Everything he talk about, you can't take his word for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody that's sick, that prey on kids, that's a predator, gets no respect, man. No respect at all.
Yo, so Alex, you live in the same area?
Hey, I've been trying to link up with this dude for the longest. I've exposed him to our family. I've been on Facebook Live. I've been reported. He done reported me. I've been on all these old platforms. All these platforms he got now are new. Everything that he had back then, it down, because I let it be known. I let it be known. He cut down everything he had from the past, gone because of me, because I exposed him.
Well, he said what he said. right? Right. Don't believe the innocent bystander, but believe the lady who accused me of rape, said the blogger. I mean, the shit he says is wild, is wild. And the way that he tries to get people to bow to him, for them to be left alone, and which I believe is the case with Lindsay, is she probably wanted to be left alone. And so she decided to bow at that point to say, like, I just want this fucking over with in my life to be left alone, and I'm going to do whatever the fuck he wants, so he'll leave me alone. That's just sad. You know, people shouldn't have to do that, but that's what he's used to happening. So that's why he keeps getting away with it. That's why he keeps getting away with it, because he just can't leave people alone. He just can't. And I agree with you, Space Ghost. It did seem like a narrative was being spun about why they didn't go to the courthouse to ask questions. I thought they were going to ask him some questions. It would have been nice to see. You know, like, come on, man. Like, go ask him. It's outside of a public courthouse. There's nothing that really could go wrong. You ask a question, he doesn't answer them, or he says something. It's that simple. Then you go home, you know? Oh, I can't wait until that happens. It's like air. He can't go on the internet. You know, he'll be trying to have other people do it for him. It's just not effective, you know? I don't know. I haven't checked in on to see what the Glare is doing in a really long time. He has less than half the amount of people in his chat. Well, that's funny. I'm growing, so good for him. But that's the thing. So that's the thing, right? I agree with you, Tammy. What reason does the guy have to lie is the question. You know what I mean? Why does his criminal history have anything to do with what he's saying right now? What does his criminal history? Listen, I am a childhood abuse survivor of SA, okay, for multiple years. Horrific, disgusting abuse that no child should ever have to deal with. I didn't tell anybody until I was 21. The first person I ever told was a friend when I was 21. I didn't tell my family until I was 23. Some people bring that to their grave with them, okay? As a child, that comes with shame. It comes with embarrassment, okay? Even though you're a child, right? Like, it still comes with those feelings. And some victims never tell anyone. My dad being one of those people, he brought it to the grave with him. He suffered and suffered and suffered until he took his own life. Because he just never, with the stigma, especially in being a man, of it happening to him when he was a child, could not talk about it. This subject is touchy for me because of those two things specifically, but it deserves attention. It deserves to be talked about, right? Children are innocent. They're just kids. And what I went through as a kid, no kid should ever have to go through, but I recognize there are plenty of victims. Now, I am not the only victim of the person who perpetrated it on me. There are numerous other victims, some of which in my family. And it does damage to someone's life. Some people never tell anyone. They live with that shame and that embarrassment and that pain forever. And it's not healthy. And there's a part of the reason why I was an addict at that point. It's just sad. You know, when you're a kid, you don't want to speak up as a kid either. You're afraid, right? You might be threatened. You're afraid. And then even as a young adult, you're like, well, what if no one believes you? What if they don't throw him in jail? What if I say something now and it's all these years later and they're like, well, we don't have any evidence, so there's nothing we can do. And then you're exposing the other victims to a trial or something else, and maybe they're not ready to talk about it. There's a lot of things that go into all of this, okay? A lot. The burden that we carry is heavy. And we don't just carry it for one person, right? I thought about this a lot when it came to the other victims. I still, to this day, at 39 years old, have never reported it to the police. Because I've talked to all of the other victims that I know of, and some of them are not ready to talk about it. And that's okay, right? That's totally okay. That's totally okay. I respect that. And so for me, my decision was based on, am I going to drive these poor people who are not ready to talk about it into something they're not ready to deal with if I do that? And so I made that choice, and I decided not to, because if they're not ready, who the fuck am I to force them to be ready? And if that day comes and they're all ready, I will go with them to that police station, no matter how many years it's been. You know, no matter how many. There are a lot of people who live with it forever and never say a single thing to anyone. So what pisses me off is, yes, an allegation is an allegation, but to have a little more sensitivity towards the fact that it was a child, number one, and number two, to just automatically be like, well, I'm going to write a blog about this guy who has no reason to lie, really, at this point, okay, about his criminal record because I don't like what he said, is irresponsible at best. Irresponsible as fuck. And clearly he's not. You know, like, they will, because they're children and they're afraid. Because they're afraid, you know? It's just sad. Well, I'm not saying that people turn their back. I mean, my dad never turned his back, but my dad lived with that pain, and ultimately he took his own life. And I have no doubt in my mind that part of that is that, you know, part of the reason why is what he lived with. And I mean, my dad was a great dad. I couldn't have asked for a better one. Couldn't have asked for a better dad ever. He was an amazing person, and I think about him all the time and wish he was here every day. But ultimately, in the long run, that burden was too heavy for him to carry on his own. And I'm sure coupled with other things, because we'll never get the answers as to fully why, you know? But I hope one day I can, you know? Hope one day I can. It's unfortunate and it sucks, but I hope one day that maybe other people who were with him right before that, or were with him, you know, a week before that, maybe got some more insight that they weren't ready to talk about until now, you know? I just, for him to just push it away that fast just goes to show he doesn't care about what's true. He doesn't care about what's true and what isn't. All he cares about is what narrative he can spin and the people who can help him lie. And if he has these content creators that are willing to lie for him, including Ray from Dallas, then anything that's said about him, he's going to attempt in whatever way to push it out. You know? Yeah, exactly, Natalie. It's another side of shame, which, you know, for men, and it's awful, you know? I agree. He's a public menace. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. I can deal with heavy subjects. You know, I can totally deal with heavy shit. But it's unfortunate that there are some people like Aiden who will just push these things off because they need Ray to talk shit for them. You know what I mean? Like, that's really sad at that point, you know? And it's part of the reason why victims are scared to come forward. They don't want to be blasted into oblivion. They don't want people lying about them. They don't want people spreading false narratives about them. They don't want to be blamed for being a victim, which happens a lot. Well, why was she wearing this? And why did she have that many drinks? And why did she go into that room? And a lot of you just get, you know, victim blaming. There's a lot of victim blaming, you know? Oh, yes. And it's hard, you know? Well, capitulate or being careful, people could see that two different ways, you know? I don't think they mean this show, because this was on James Jackson. I think they mean, at least from what I understand from the people who messaged me, I believe it was on JFK's own show, maybe, that they had the issue. This specifically, I don't think was the issue, because this one was on James's show. But, you know, I respect people's opinions. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, he spoke what he needed to speak, and it's like, what is he going to gain? So that's the thing, right? If you're going to lie, what are you actually gaining from this is my question, right? What are you gaining? If it's for some nefarious, like, what do you gain out of it? He has nothing to gain. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guy has clearly nothing to gain. So what, if you're going to do something, you're going to lie about something, you're not going to be truthful about it, you have to ask yourself, what is the person going to gain from it? This guy doesn't seem like he has much to gain. If anything, he has to lose. He has to lose by putting his face and his name there for turtle riders and other people to come attack and harass his past and his criminal history and try to use those things to discredit what he's saying now. Somebody's past criminal history doesn't tell you who they are right now. It's just not an indicator, especially when you're much younger. It's not an indicator of who the person ends up being. I'm literally living fucking proof of that. So for me, they just want to drag him. Right? Like, that's more content for them. Let's drag him. It's content, you know? Yeah, my therapist actually said the same thing. Like, that's not, they don't even grasp the concept, you know? That it's pretty damn hard to come up with a false memory for something like that as a child, you know? It is pretty sad, but that's the stuff they do, Bugs. You know how they operate, you know? Well, that's a good point. I don't know. You know how he'll answer it? He'll say, it's none of anybody's fucking business. It's private. It's none of your business. That's what he'll say. It's the same thing every time. It's the same thing every fucking time. They'll try to take everyone and anyone they can down with them. It's how they, you know. Yeah, it was on James's channel. It's not anymore. I looked. JFK didn't stream. It was just James, but it's not there anymore. Oh, that was interesting. It didn't come off. It's very professional. Isn't that the account that's always like, I don't know. I feel like that's the account that's always like talking shit, but I could be wrong on X. I'm not sure. I'd have to look. Oh, I hope he gets an amazing home. See, look at you out there doing God's work. I checked the members only section. I checked it. I checked just to make sure. You know, I don't have enough members to feel like putting things behind a paywall like that. I can't justify it, you know? I can't. She's rescued many babies. Many. Oh, that's the attorney. That's right. That's the attorney that is a mod on Ray from Dallas's channel that sent the cease and desist, and that included not calling him a pedo, even though she never has, which is quite telling if you ask me, in my opinion. You know, why would you put that in a cease and desist when that's not something she's ever said? You know? I know what that feels like, Amber Nerd. When I was a kid and I was in foster care, you know, I'm a teen at that point, but when you're telling people like, hey, I'm being abused in this foster home, and they're not listening, no one's listening, and you're telling them, and they're going, oh, well, the foster parent said that didn't happen. Yeah, because the perpetrators are definitely going to tell you that they're perpetrators, right? And you're screaming it from the rooftops to try to get some help, and no one is listening. Believe me, I know what that's like, you know? And so if you wait years and years for someone to listen, now he's going to get, you know, the wrath of the tiny Meririst, because he likes to terrorize Meredith and anyone else that, you know, possibly speaks up against him, and his idiotic minions. You know, like, that's the risk. There's no gain. He's not gaining anything. He's losing it by speaking. So that's what makes me think he's not lying, in my opinion, because you're not going to gain anything from this, from anything. You're going to actually lose. You know, I agree with you, Peggy. A lot of flying monkeys over there, you know, a lot of flying monkeys. I wish there were more Leahs, but there aren't, unfortunately, and you can't have mine. Sorry. I will not share her. You cannot have her. I'm greedy. Sorry. Greedy with my friends. Can't have them. I'm just kidding. There's plenty of Leah to share. She's got plenty of love for everyone and all the puppies. I'm telling you, it's God's work. Literally. You know? God's work. Why? Yeah. Why bring up someone's mother? That's weird. And what is the point? What would be the point? You know? I was asleep too. So believe me, I didn't get to see any of it either. I'm only seeing what the clips are right now with you guys. You know? That's all I'm seeing. Well, that's the thing, right? he doesn't care about Aiden or who Aiden is or what Aiden does. It's about his family, obviously. So why? What reason would he have to get up there and say something that isn't true? Like, again, he's not gaining anything. He's going to lose, you know? Oh, Richard, you have no idea. I love old school music. Journey, the Eagles. Listen, my dad was a musician. He played the drums and pretty much every other instrument you can think of, guitar, you know, the piano, all of it. I have met Steven Tyler. It was my dad. We used to live in Marshfield when I was much younger, and he lived down the street. We saw him at Stop and Shop, which is so funny because I heard other people have actually seen him there before, which is funny. He was actually very kind when we met him when I was a kid. So for me, I really hope that people start speaking up who didn't before or who were afraid to before. The Mo Esquire person, it's a mod for Ray from Dallas's channel, and they sent Meredith a cease and desist because Meredith is the one that found out Ray from Dallas's real name. It's not worth the paper that it's written on, and it's kind of a funny joke that she even attempted to send a cease and desist to someone, okay? But in that cease and desist, she wrote that, you know, basically cease and desist and don't call him a pedo. The problem with that is she never has. So why would you put that in something when someone's never said that about you? It's an awfully weird thing to put in a cease and desist that someone's never said. Why bring up Alex's mother, Mo? Also, what kind of fucking attorney are you that you just take the word of a random person online and send a cease and desist on their behalf? I mean, that's weird. You know, it's weird. A lot of this shit pisses me off, Amber. Believe me, I feel you on that, my friend. You know, I tapped out during night. I only saw portions of it and never sit through all YouTube shows. I don't have that much time in the day. I don't think any of us do, unfortunately. You know, the most I sit and watch is like sitting with you guys. Otherwise, I have to catch bits and pieces and then have other people fill me in and, you know, all that. I do the best I can, you know? Oh, you've seen him at the Hanover movie theater? I love that. I was actually just in Hanover last weekend. My nephew's birthday party was at Ryan's. We had a blast, though. Some bowling. We did some laser tag. It was fun. Oh, my God. I didn't tell you guys about my kid's song this morning. It was hilarious, okay? So this is what happened, okay? We're driving down the street. I'll put up the donation information again in case anybody has joined us that would like to support the channel. There's 278 of you watching on X. I really would wish some of you would come over here to YouTube and join us on YouTube instead of X. But, you know, I get it. I get it. It's probably more convenient for some of you who are on X to watch us there. So, you know, 400, a little over 400 of you, and most of you are watching from X. But if you are on X and you would like to support the channel, there's a bunch of different ways you can do so. We do have Cash App, we have Venmo, we have PayPal, which are all on the screen right now. And then in the chat at the top, there's a link. You can click on it and you can do any debit or credit card. It goes to my PayPal, but you don't have to have a PayPal. All you need is a debit or credit card for it. And you can remain anonymous on any of them. Also in the description of the video, there is other options like Revolut if you're over the seas, which PayPal also works for, but if you're overseas, we do have Revolut. We have Chime, which is actually the same tag as Cash App or Venmo. And I think just the Amazon wishlist is the other thing that's there, and the link for the debit or credit. But if you would like to support the channel, we always appreciate it. And then there's also super chats and super stickers. And memberships, we have those as well, or gifting them to other people, which I love when that happens. And I love that we saw some of those today. That made my heart happy for other people. I love it. So let me see here. I'm trying to, oh, the song. Okay, yeah, so you guys are gonna love this. So we're walking down this, so we come out of my driveway. And because all the cars can't park on the main road right now, and that's because they're towing people because of the snow. So they can't park on the main road, which drives me bananas because the people who are parking on the main road, it's not because they don't have driveways. They all have driveways. It's because they're too lazy to have one person park in the driveway and then another person park behind them so they don't have to move. So instead, the main road here, they've been parking on my street. right? Instead. So all the cars are lined up. So we come out of my driveway to walk her up to the bus stop this morning. And, oh, thank you, New Hampshire, dude. That was so nice of you. I appreciate that very much. That's a big one. Thank you. So kind. Yeah, I mean, I miss my dad, but, you know, if you don't talk about stuff, then it kind of like defeats the purpose of trying to change things, right? Because I feel like if you talk about things that are comfortable that people don't want to talk about, then maybe it'll help other people open up, or at the very least, let them know that they're not alone, you know? Just let them know that they're not simply alone, and there are plenty of other people struggling with that. And they'll always have a place to be able to get in touch with me. Having a bad day, it's 2 a.m. and you're, you know, having a panic attack, like, you can always message me or text me or call me or email me, and you're not alone. You're not. There's plenty of people out there that care about other people. Thank you, J-Bugs. I don't know if I'm the coolest channel on YouTube, but I do feel very, I feel blessed to have such a great community of people who are willing to look out for one another. And that's our motto here, right? Lisa, you've been with us for a while. No one suffers in silence. Not alone. I've been there, done that. You know, been there, done that, and nobody deserves to have to do that, to suffer alone or deal with something like that alone. Even the kind of shit that Aiden brings upon your lives and your families, like, no one should have to deal with that alone. When it first happened to me, guess what? Guess I was standing in an island by myself. People were privately supporting me, but they would say nothing publicly. They were too afraid, even people who knew, you know, that he was lying. Nope, they just wouldn't say a thing. They were too afraid. They were too afraid of what would happen to them, you know, and that's sad. That should never be a thing, ever be a thing. And so in that moment, I realized, like, if this happens to other people, like, I need them to know that they're not alone, that they will have at least someone, you know, someone to talk to, someone to go to, someone to scream, cry. You want to talk about something else and make you laugh, like, we could do that too. Like, it doesn't matter to me, right? As long as it makes you feel better. But you should never be feeling like you're on an island alone, because that's a dark place to be. Feeling like nobody will speak up, nobody will support you, and they know the truth. That is the most frustrating feeling on planet Earth. It's the most frustrating freaking feeling. It drives me bananas. He said no. Oh, cool. So Mo Esquire just wrote it herself on behalf of Ray from Dallas, but for no reason. Yeah, right. Interesting answer. You know? Interesting damn answer to say no. You know? Like, what the hell? Oh, you went to a Christmas party of one of the guys from Aerosmith? They were singing karaoke to their own songs. I love that, though. Look, if Jess Machado and TV say anything other than what happened last night was an eye-opening shit, well, that's the thing. They're going to spin whatever they're going to spin in the way that they're going to spin it, you know? So it was up since, it says August of 2024. So August of 2025 would have been 1 year. So it hasn't even been 2 years until August of this year. So, but again, nobody knew Ray's name until recently. So they couldn't find it if they didn't know his name. Once people were able to know his real name, that's when they found the post. And I mean, for obvious reasons, hiding his identity, right? I wish that I had been able to see the entire thing, because I want to hear what this guy has to say. Maybe he'll reach out to me. I don't know. He probably doesn't even know I exist, but I wish that I had been able to hear the rest of what he had to say. You know, it's unfortunate that I wasn't able to listen to it. Because I would have really liked to hear the whole thing, you know? Oh, you guys this is why I absolutely love my community, and you guys don't hold even to the biggest of channels with 500,000 subscribers. Like, it just doesn't hold a candle, you know? You guys care for each other, and that makes my heart happy. You know, it makes my heart happy. Not just to be here for me, but for each other. Like, that's the whole goal, is not to just create a place that's there for streaming, but that you're going to support one another. See, y'all are going to make me cry. That you're going to support one another. If one of you guys are having a hard time, like, you're all there to lift each other up. And that's the goal. It's to create that kind of community of love and looking out for one another and bringing back that sort of old school caring about your neighbor mentality, and not that sort of greedy me, and only me, and who cares about everybody else mentality, which we're seeing from quite a lot of people, you know, in the last, I'd say, 8 years. It's gotten worse with the greed and the, you know, way people act. I just want that. Maybe it's because my grandparents taught me when I was young, like, it makes a difference. It does in someone's life if you just say one nice thing to them, you know? Like, I'm always in Walmart, and if someone's like shirt, for instance, catches my eye and I think it's a cute shirt, like, instead of keeping it to myself and being like, it's a cute shirt, I'm like, excuse me, I love that shirt. Where did you get it? Like, that makes a difference. Just that one simple thing makes a difference in someone's day. They could have had a terrible freaking day, and that one thing could have changed their day, you know? Oh, God bless you, Peggy. Be very careful with Twitter. I will say it is a cesspool for sure. So you have to be very, very careful with the things that you consume from there, you know? I think mental and emotional pain is almost worse, in my opinion. I'd rather be punched in the face 72 times than have someone gaslight me every day, all day. That's what I would rather. I would rather be punched in the face than be gaslit 24/7 and lied to 24/7 and call, you know, have them make you feel like you did something wrong when it's actually them, and them turning the victim role around. They're going to play the victim, and you're going to be they're going to be mad at you for being mad at them. You ever had that happen where you're upset with someone for doing something, and all of a sudden they try to make themselves the victim by being mad at you that you're mad at them? Like, that's what I mean, you know? Well, that's the other thing. They should never think they're weak or feel ashamed. And I see a lot of that happening with people coming out of Aiden's cult, where they're like, I feel ashamed. I feel stupid. I feel like, how could I have fallen for this? And I have to tell them, very intelligent people have fallen into some cult-like behavior. It's not about whether you're intelligent or not. It's not. It's brainwashing. Brainwashing can work on anyone, right? Used correctly. It just can, you know? No, I love good vibes. I send you all good vibes. I know, right? I describe my own ex that way. Little things do matter. They matter in people's lives. You know, people might not always remember what you did for them, but they will remember the feeling that it gave them. Does that make sense? My grandparents and my dad used to say that. Like, it's not necessarily the thing that you did, it's the feeling that it gave them. They will remember that feeling, right? And you just hope that that feeling gets passed along to other people, you know? Like, that's what you hope. You hope that the feeling gets passed along to other people, and that they choose to have other people feel that way, you know, by doing something kind or something nice, just by holding a door. You know, like, it doesn't have to be something crazy, you know? It doesn't. It simply can just be something small. All right, but let me give you guys this feel-good story, all right? So I don't know if I can play it. So I didn't do so we're going down the street this morning, bringing my kiddo to school, right? And a car, as I said, on the one side of the road that's on the same side as my house, the cars are lined up because they're not parking on the main road. Right? So a car comes flying down my street. Now, my street's a dead-end street, so there's no reason that you should be flying down a dead-end street, okay? But the car comes flying down a dead-end street, and we're kind of waiting at the bottom of my driveway for that car to go because you could hear it coming. And my kiddo starts singing. She's like, don't hit mom with the car. Mom almost got hit by a car. She's just humming along, making up a song, right? And at one point, she's like, don't hit my mom with a car. maybe it was sewer turtle, maybe it was not. And I'm like, I just started dying laughing. And so it takes like 3 minutes to walk up the street and get to the bus stop. So at some point I'm like, I have to record some of this. This has to be fun. So I record like the ground, but like with her voice, right? And she's singing.
Maybe it was turtle boy, baby, not.
What? She's just singing, don't hit my mom with a car, because the car is going by like that.
Big brother, children on the street. Watch your driving.
Watch your driving.
Someone trying to hit you with the car. Almost got hit by a car. Maybe it was turtle boy, maybe not. Maybe it was turtle, maybe not. I know he hit so.
Otherwise, you're getting these knuckles, she said. I said, oh my God, I can't. This kid is hilarious. I cannot. My kids are very sarcastic, but when that came out of her mouth, I said, OMG. And she said, so turtle. I said, I can't. I cannot. I cannot. Because if I'm on the phone and someone mentions him, she'll be like, oh, is it Sewer Turtle do something mean to someone again? I said, no, not right now. She doesn't know much about this other than like the nicknames. And my husband will ask me about like, what did he do now? Or, you know what I mean? And so I just thought that was the funniest thing. She doesn't really know much about anything. She's elementary school age. She's 8. But all 3 of my girls are very funny and smart, sarcastic. They definitely get it from me, but I could not stop laughing because this was just a part of the song. Like this is like, I didn't catch the first part of it because she was just singing it, right? Like she was just making it up as she was walking down the street, right? And then, and maybe it was Sewer Turtle, maybe not. First she said maybe it was Turtle Boy, maybe not. Then she said maybe it was Sewer Turtle, maybe not. And I'm like, where do you come up with this crap, dude? Doesn't live anywhere near me. It was just somebody driving like a jerk. And I was like, all right, well, you got that, kid. You got that. She just caught me so off guard. Like, it just completely caught me off guard, but it was adorable at the same time. I was like, oh, my God. She's more worried about her mother being hit by the car spinning down the road. And she's like, slow down, bro. There's kids on the street. Slow down, bro. There's kids on the street. Like, you can't be driving like that. There's kids on the street. And they heard us all summer long telling people to like slow down. You know, you're coming down a dead end street and there's kids riding their bikes and playing on the skateboards, and like you don't need to be going 30 or 40 down a very short dead end street. You know what I mean? Like, especially not with the way our roads look right now. They look like crap. Yeah, she freestyled it. That's what she did. She gave a good old freestyle. She did. She gave a freestyle. It was an adorable freestyle though. It was an adorable freestyle. It totally was. What time is it? 2:47. Let me see if there's. Hold on. I want to see. She's too funny. Aww. So nice. Oh God, yeah. Dude, and I have a friend that lives in South Boston over near on the other side. She lives like near B Street. So it's like on the other side of the projects. And it is a shit show for her to find a parking spot. If she's not home by like 5, she's not finding a parking spot. And it's like, there's only so many, or you're getting towed, ticketed. It's a shit show. And you can only park certain places during certain hours. It's a whole crapshoot. It's a whole crapshoot, you know? Oh my God. I would die. How many people probably called dispatch over? Do you ever get anybody called you asked for a shoe, Leah, when you were a cop? Nobody called and asked if you could find their shoe. They fist fighting over parking spots in Boston, but they probably didn't call about a shoe, right? So probably didn't ask where their shoe was, I'm going to guess. I agree with you, JC. I think that's exactly why she did it. She clearly learned that behavior from, the very people who do that. And that's the problem, right? Are the same behaviors that the sewer turtle and his minions teach people to do, to hurt others. That same shit behavior. It's really just sad, to think about all of the people that have sat there and listened to this crap and then repeated the behavior itself to hurt other people simply for speaking up drives me absolutely bananas. I hate it. I hate it. So I'm seeing that he decided to talk shit this morning about Meredith again. Interesting. Interesting. So what's this one? Big lost my ass. Melanie Little says she's going to prosecute trolls on YouTube. Imagine if TV showed up to her house daughter's sporting events. Oh, she'd have oh my God. Can you imagine Melanie Little and the absolute fucking meltdown that she would have if Aiden showed up to one of her kids' sporting events to ask her, quote, questions and what she would do?
The trolls are out in full force. They will be prosecuted, and there will be a zero.
The fact that she said that with a straight face is seriously concerning to me. Trolls can't be prosecuted, lady. You can't prosecute people for mean opinions on Twitter. But you should know that, right? Because you were an attorney, and that's what you should start with, Melanie. You should start with the fact that you were an attorney. And the last case that you ever covered was either 2014 or 2015. I believe it was 2015. One case in 2014 and one in 2015. But you should probably start with that. Then you should tell your audience that you only practiced civil law and that you probably weren't great at it anyway. Because when you talk about criminal law, it sounds like you have no actual fucking idea what the hell you're talking about. And really, you just spew talking points at your audience until they shake their heads yes. Because they assume you're an attorney, so you would know. The problem with that is you feed them misinformation that they then go and spread online and say, well, an attorney told me so. An attorney said so. Yeah, an attorney that doesn't know what the fuck she's actually talking about 90% of the time when it comes to criminal law. Like, look, the exaggerated facial expressions get me. But I'm going to play this whole clip because it's only 18 seconds. But, like, this is her going on and on about how all the trolls who came after her online are going to be prosecuted. And this was a long time ago. About everyone who's anyone laughed at her. You can't prosecute people for their opinions, you bozo. You've never practiced criminal law a day in your fucking life, and it shows because you clearly have no idea what you're talking about. But sure, Melanie, sure.
The trolls are out in full force. They will be prosecuted, and there will be a zero tolerance policy after what just happened on the stream that I did a little while ago. It's revolting. It is vile, and people out there hiding behind fake names are now going to be prosecuted.
Yeah, yep, because simply hiding behind a fake name means they'll be prosecuted. Now, I don't give a shit one way or another because I don't hide behind fake names. But if I made an account tomorrow that was called Melanie Sucks Little, you can't prosecute someone for that, darling. Yeah, I mean, might want to hit them law books harder, Melanie. Okay? You're in Delulu land, darling.
If I have to lead the charge on that, I will. The trolls are out in full force.
Somebody want to ask her what happened to the charge on that? What happened to the charge on that, Mel? Can we get an update on what happened to you leading the charge on prosecuting people with fake accounts? Because there are quite a few with Auntie Deb behind them. And, I mean, it has risen to the level of harassment against Nan. So, I mean, are you going to lead the charge on that? On the prosecution? I'm just wondering, Mel, what happened there? You know? Oh, I'm sorry. It's still nice to see you, though, Lynn. A whole duel between Melanie Little and TV. Well, let's see what he has to say about this exact same subject. Let's see.
Proctor as well as the and like Melanie Little did not cover this today, and I hope they realize what a big loss that is. I hope someone from the Reed team is reaching out to Melanie Little because there is no buzz for this.
He so badly wants them to just do what he wants them to do. Melanie Little didn't cover this civil hearing today. Well, the people I wanted to cover it didn't cover it and didn't give it attention, and I wanted it attention so that I can tie it to my own case. Let's be clear here. This wrongful death suit has not a single thing to do with him. He can keep attempting to tie his cases to Karen's cases, but they have nothing really to do with one another unless he gets charged with witness intimidation and conspiring to witness intimidate again. If he gets charged with the conspiring, then cool, you might be able to tie them together in some way. But until then, they're not tied together in any way, shape, or form, and he is grasping at straws to tie them together. I heard she was getting sued, but I cannot confirm nor deny if that is happening or not happening. I have no actual idea. It's just something I've heard, you know? Nan does, I think, medical. She does, like, medical cases, I believe. Right? Whoever's suing her, I'm also team them. She lost it a long time ago, you know? She might want to check the frosting on her cupcake. She's giving people, you know, food poisoning. It's rancid. Well, hello, Joe Bowers. A lot of people don't use the government. Well, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't use my real name either if these people were going to do the shit that, like, if they hadn't already, Justin for John Charts, if they hadn't already, like some of them do, right? I obviously do, but right, I guess our camp should be so worried that Melanie Little didn't cover it. Like, why? First of all, why would they? Any good attorney wouldn't want Melanie Little covering their shit anyway, right? And that's 100% right. There are plenty of people who do it for very, like, professional reasons, you know, like they, you know, might work in a court, but they want to be able to give their First Amendment on what they think about a case. And so they stay behind an account that's anonymous. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What I think is wrong is when people go and make fake accounts simply to use those to harass and intimidate and incite against other people. That is when I have a problem with an account that is private. But if you're just giving your opinions, right, like, and you're doing it for professional or personal reasons, like, who cares? Who gives a shit? Melanie Little gives a shit. She doesn't like any criticism, just like Aiden. We don't swear because we're classy and cupcakes, except she does swear. That's weird enough when she proceeds to swear. I love when she says some dumb ass shit like that. Like, dude, we all swear. Let's not pretend that we're all perfect and don't throw a few cuss words out here and there. I'm certainly not going to pretend that. I'm from Boston. I have a foul mouth, okay? I toned it down for you guys and I toned it down for YouTube because YouTube frowns upon you using too many cuss words. But I am who I am. I am from New England. We do cuss a lot, so sorry, but you get the authentic me. Hope John Sharks is thriving. We need a rich person to do $100 super chat and ask. She'll definitely pull it up before reading it. Oh my God, that's such a smart idea. I didn't think of that. But then again, then you have to give her $100 for her to read it. Like, no. So dramatic, overly dramatic. Like, oh my God, I'm so disgusted. And then she, like, pauses and holds it. She's like, like, that's what she does. She, like, pauses and holds the, like, exaggerated facial expression. No wonder why she failed in acting. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, she's busy lying to people. I can't. Oh my God, the shirt. I love swearing. That's another reason why I like at EDB. I could never not, all right? So I'm sorry for those of you that don't like cussing, but it's a part of who I am. So you either love me or hate me. The cussing comes with it. No, I heard that she was going to be sued, not that she was suing someone else. But again, that's just a rumor at this point, you know? And that's the other thing. Who cares if she covered it? Other people did. I did. Like, other people, I might not be on his side, but I covered it. Who gives a fuck if she covered it, you know? Weird, bro. Weird. Yeah, something about she said she could, like, take a picture of their IP. Just so funny that she said such a ridiculous thing. Like, that's not how it works, Melanie, okay? in order to get someone's IP address, you actually have to either get into their account, okay, or get a subpoena for a John or Jane Doe account through the court system for them to then get the IP address and hope that they are not like a hacker themselves. You know, I thought that was probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard Melanie Little say, because it was so fucking stupid to anybody who knows tech that they probably pissed themselves laughing, you know? Oh my God, I remember that. So when I changed my last name when I got married, I remember Facebook trying to tell me that it wasn't a real name, that my name wasn't a real name. It was like, no, this cannot be a real name. Like, but it is. Like, what are you talking about, Facebook? Like, people don't use their government names for a reason, but this is my government. What do you mean it's not my name? Can you imagine someone with an even worse, like a weird spelling or a non-traditional name, and Facebook was like saying like, no, this is not your name. Like, but it is. Like, oh, but it is. I barely use Facebook anymore. I should probably use it. It's a big platform. It does bring in a lot of people, and I should probably use it more. I stream to it. We're streaming to it right now, but I just don't use it that often anymore. You know, I'm a proud swear. Me too. Well, of course, you're not going to be, swearing at a wedding while they're doing vows, but maybe at the event afterwards when Uncle Gary eats a giant piece of cake. Holy shit, Uncle Gary, that's a huge piece of fucking cake. You have diabetes. Calm it down, sir. Okay? Oh my God, she took her phone out and acted as she had a magic IP detector. That is the fucking funniest thing ever. Here comes the flip. Was this after she threatened? This was when she was on Twitter under her name and people like dared criticize her. She didn't like it. She didn't like it at all. That was a while ago. I do believe they'll throw the book at him. Yeah, that's all she does is cover Aiden's stuff now. She needs his minions to donate to her. That's, she needs it. She has to have it, Her chatters were complaining that she was talking too much. Well, that's what I do, so you get the fuck out. Yeah. So when people tell me I'm talking too much, I try to shut the fuck up. I do want to give some commentary, but I don't like to pause it. There are some people that pause it like every 2 minutes and give commentary. I like to try to play the entire thing or almost the entire thing without talking so that people can hear what's being said, and then give commentary. The problem is you don't want to lose your train of thought. So sometimes you'll pause it like in the middle, but I try to do minimal pauses for that very reason. But she screams at her chat all the time, yelling and screaming at her chat. I'm like, I cannot imagine yelling and screaming at my chat like that. That is just fucking weird, I mean, and that's with a filter on, Sassy. She uses a pretty good filter, I agree, Lisa. Not using profanity does not automatically mean that you're classy, The username makes me LOL every time. Sharts. John Sharts. Oh, I love that. My husband used to work in Pembroke for a really, really long time. For almost 10 years, as a matter of fact. So we're very, I'm originally from the South Shore, but I do not live in the South Shore anymore. It's too expensive to live there anymore, Yeah, the screaming at the chat is fucking weirdo behavior, Weirdo behavior, in my opinion. She does treat it like an acting. All those exaggerated facial expressions, and she like pauses on them. Like pauses. It is kind of liberating, right? Ooh, good. I believe this is off topic, but I believe it's against YouTube to have raffles that include asking subscribers for money to participate. How does he get away with this stuff? Well, I mean, you can do. So it would essentially be like a donation. So YouTube isn't going to like shit on someone for doing it because it'd be the same thing as like allowing people to donate to your channel. They don't have to, right? They can choose to or choose not to. They can choose to send a super chat or they can choose to send it through Venmo or Cash App or PayPal, right? So as far as I know, though, the raffles he mostly does through Facebook, I believe, and maybe even Twitter, but mostly Facebook as far as I understand. But I mean, because he's still going to make YouTube, if he's monetized, he's still going to make YouTube money on his ad revenue. And if he's making a decent amount of money on his ad revenue, they're not going to go after him for little things. They're just not. And that's, it speaks to YouTube's greed, but that's part of the reason. That's part of the real reason why they're, a smaller channel could get a strike for that and lose their channel, where a larger channel might not have that problem. That's why it makes it, Smaller channels have a bigger issue with YouTube in general for many reasons. They get strikes way easier. They make way less money. YouTube doesn't push out their videos to a lot of people so people can find them until they're larger. So it's like the bigger creators have all the benefits. The smaller creators are struggling to like climb up to the point where YouTube is actually pushing their content out. So it's like YouTube ignores a lot of shit that larger content creators do because the larger content creators are making more money on ad revenue for YouTube and they take a chunk of that. So they ignore a lot of shit to keep the money. If they unmonetize you or kick you off the platform, they also lose that money, you know? Oh, good. I'll look at it in a minute. It can be healing and therapeutic. I can't help myself, right? She can't write down an IP address that she can't say. That is so funny to me that she even attempted that shit. Like, she's not classy. There's nothing classy about her. Saying the word cupcake and screaming at your chat does not scream classy, all right? She's going to get subpoenas for YouTube. Like, no, you're not, bro. You have to have a reason to get subpoenas. And good luck with that, by the way. Good luck. I know plenty of people who have tried. Good luck, Melanie. Good luck. That's what I mean. Like her even saying such a wild thing. For what? For someone criticizing you? Good luck with that. You know? There's no reason people should. But let's listen to the rest of what the hell he said. What ridiculous thing he said.
This whatsoever right now. There's no buzz. Like there should be a buzz, but there's just not right now. Because this is boring as shit.
So we're talking about you.
Melanie Little, quite frankly, feels disrespected. And we talked about why. Because people who claim to speak for the Reed family are telling people like her that they're not wanted. Because Nan Gallagher, and again, I don't want to talk about Nan or anything like that, but an attorney by the name of Nan Gallagher is out there speaking for and on behalf of Karen Reed and putting words in Karen Reed's mouth. No. And shitting on Melanie Little.
Stop it.
And shitting on me. Okay?
Wait, hold on a second. Let's correct that. I believe Melanie Little is the one who started shitting on Nan first. Let's throw that out there real fucking quick and fix that lie. Number two, she isn't shitting on you, Aiden. I haven't seen her shit on you anywhere. What she has done is told the truth about her experiences. That's not shitting on you, sir. That is the fucking truth. And if you don't like it, stop the fucking shit behavior. Gee, I don't know. Maybe do that instead of blaming Nan for your fucking problems. She has nothing to do with what you choose to do in your daily fucking life, sir. And she has every right to speak to her experiences because of your behavior. Melanie Little is not a good fucking person. Sorry, not sorry. For those of you that like her, you're obviously more than welcome to like her, watch her, do whatever you want. That's just my simple opinion. I do not like her. I think she is fake as fuck. She rides for the turtle hard, and she does not call out his bad behavior while simultaneously bitching that Aiden's judge has got to be biased and corrupt while also simultaneously never practicing criminal law a day in her fucking life. And the last case that she ever had civilly was over 10 goddamn years ago. She should take several fucking seats and sit on her goddamn cupcakes for all I care. That's what the fuck she should do. Yeah, he should continue to have Erica run that. That's a great idea. Erica will say whatever he lets her say. And she'll just say whatever wild assertion Aiden allows her or tells her to say that day. So the shit that comes out of his mouth is so fucking wild. See how easy it is for him to lie to his audience? Just that little bit. And I paused it, okay? This is only a minute and 1 second long. We're 44 seconds in. How many lies did that man already tell in 44 seconds? Like, how many? Why does he care? Because he has to keep saying Karen's name. That's how he makes money. By tying himself to Karen's case. He can't get off the train. That's why. Because he has to keep screaming about Karen Reed so that people will want to watch him. It's that simple. It's that simple. You know? It's what he does. It's literally what he does. Sorry, I gotta switch out headphones. This one just died and I just heard it go doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Like, okay, cool. We shall plug you in, headphone, and use these ones. And I charged these all night, so I don't even know how they died. Usually they go for like 6 or 8 hours. That's just telling me that I definitely need to replace them soon. And I don't want to because these ones only last about 3 hours before they die on me. But we will hook these ones up instead. Connecting. I won't be able to hear anything. What he's saying. If it doesn't, oh, is it still connected to my phone? And that's why it's not connecting here. That very well could be a goddamn possibility. Yep, that's why. All right, here we go. Ew, gross. And that just goes to show if she's willing to simp for these people because most of her audience at this point are a lot of turtle riders who are willing to pay her super chats, you know, and so she defends Aiden to no end, even when he's 100% wrong. And that should tell you everything you need to know. If somebody is always going to defend someone, even when it's very clear that they did something that is very wrong and they excuse it away, there's a reason for that. And 9 out of 10 times when it comes to these YouTube streets, they're excusing it away because their audience ties in with that person's audience. It's really that simple. Let's see the rest of his 20-something seconds of bold-faced fucking lies.
And she's claiming to speak for Karen Reed, and it would be a great...
Nan has never claimed, by the way, to speak for Karen Reed or on behalf of Karen Reed. She's only ever given her experiences and her opinions. She has never, ever, ever said, I speak for Karen Reed. That is, again, what is that? 4 seconds. We paused it 4 seconds ago, and there's another lie. Nan has never said she speaks for Karen Reed. So let's correct that bold-faced lie real fucking quick.
Great time for someone from Karen Reed's team, you know, to say, no,
Karen Reed's team is not going to come out and say, no, Turtle Boy, Nan doesn't speak for Karen Reed because you claimed so. They're not going to come out and debunk every lie that you tell, sir. Okay? Why the fuck would they do that? Why would any team take the time to debunk every single nonsensical bullshit thing you say? Okay? My attorney wouldn't do that. I'm not going to tell I need you to make a statement saying that he's a liar. Like, no, you tell on yourself all the fucking time. Why would anybody waste their time doing that, dude? And it's funny for you. Why don't you start worrying about your own attorneys, okay? Why don't you start worrying about Bradle and Betterow, who are writing their fucking non-motions that aren't even motions in crayon and putting fake fucking medical conditions in things that are not even a damn motion to the court, okay? You can't put things in and expect an answer on something that isn't a motion. Oh, here's an affidavit, Judge. Cool, I can't give you an answer on an affidavit. File it in a motion if you want a goddamn answer. Also, can you take your fake medical conditions out of it? How fucking embarrassing. Also, while you're at it, make sure to get Attorney Betterow a stepping stool or maybe a baby seat or a high chair because we can't see his head over the podium, sir, okay? Maybe get him some pump-up Jordans, some moon shoes, something. Looks like a little boy back there. It's a fucking buffoon.
Actually, Melanie Little, you are valued, and we do appreciate your support.
No, you're not. And he appreciates your support because, you know, your viewers give him money and vice versa. He doesn't actually like you, by the way, Melanie, just so you know. He talks hella shit about you privately and how annoying you are. And he doesn't also like... So I found it funny because some of the messages were that he couldn't stand the way that she makes facial expressions, like I can't stand that, and her voice. And so just FYI, he pretends here in public that he supports you, Melanie, but privately he just shits all over you. Just FYI, in case you were wondering. In the same way that he shits on Auntie Deb, and he shits on Will, and he shits on Jess, he shits on you too. And when it all comes out, I don't want to hear shit. Because I fucking told you so.
And that's all Melanie needs to hear. You know, look.
Yeah, all she needs to hear is Turtle Boy said so. Don't worry, Melanie. Turtle Boy's got your back. Don't worry, Cupcake.
I mean, look at this comment.
I can't. I literally cannot. I can't. I just can't. I can't. With the constant lying. A minute and 1 second. And there were at least a half a dozen lies. What fucking world do we live in? Oh, that was definitely some public pressure. 100%. 100%. He is a one-trick pony. There's no other tricks. He's a creature of habit, my friends. Creature of habit. He's literally a creature of habit. You know? The fact she uses glare in the intro is all I need to know at this point, you know? It's weird. It's fucking weird. No, so that's the other thing is other people assume that she's like practices law or practiced criminal law, so she would know her shit. No, she hasn't practiced law in over a decade. And she never practiced criminal law. When she talks about certain things, like when she went over the recase, when she talked about certain things, I was like, there's no way she's an actual attorney. She has to be lying. And so I had to look into it. Because an actual attorney practicing criminal law would have known half the shit she was saying was just completely false. She has no idea how it works at all. It's like, how the fuck did you pass the bar exam, dude? Did you cheat? Like, I don't get it. How? How the fuck? You know? Like, what the hell? No, it's not his hearing. This was the wrongful death suit for Karen Reed. So that was the hearing that she didn't show, that he was so upset about. So upset about. And that's the other thing. Like, he keeps trying to imply to his audience that, like, he knows Karen, and, like, trying to imply in some way that, like, she's talking to him. That's just simply false. Simply false. Karen Reed cannot stand Aiden, does not like him, would love him to stop saying your name, as far as I understand. And you guys know I'm not a fan of hers, but, like, I wouldn't like him either. He's a fucking liability. The dude is a ticking time bomb. A ticking time bomb. You know? How many flying monkeys does one idiot need? You never know. There could be, Peggy. You never know. You know, it wouldn't shock me, that's for sure. But that's what he does. He makes these little digs and, like, little comments publicly to sort of, like, push, you know? Push. Well, I mean, why does it matter if she didn't cover it? Who gives a shit? There are plenty of other people who did, you know? Why is it some big deal? Yeah, she practices YouTube law. You know, he's a creature of habit. I can predict a habit and what he's going to do before he's going to fucking do it. And I have many times over. Oh, shit. I have like 5 minutes before I need to go. So I'm going to wrap this up. My rant is over. My clips are over. Do me a favor on you guys' way out. Hit the like button. Appreciate y'all. Hit the subscribe button if you already haven't. Share the video. Make sure you let your friends know we exist, right? Like, a lot of people didn't know we existed before. We do exist. We are trying to grow our channel slowly but surely, but based on our own merits, not someone else's. If you'd like to donate to the channel, there's a million different ways you can do it. We have Cash App, we have Venmo, we have PayPal. Those are on the screen. There's a link up in chat here on YouTube and in the description of the video on YouTube. So you want to do it even after we're not live anymore. We just read it on the next one. If you want to remain anonymous, just say that. We'll totally remain anonymous and we'll just read the amount in the comment or just the amount. There are other options like Revolut and Chime. They're in the description as well. But the main ones are here, and at the link at the top, you can use that for any credit or debit card. You can enter any amount you want, and you can enter any, there's a whole box. You can put a paragraph if you wanted of comments in. I love your stinking faces. I'll catch you guys probably on Twitter for those of you on Twitter in a bit. Everybody have an amazing day.